What is up, everybody? Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever you are in the world. This is the earliest Legal Mindset that I've ever hosted, really. I'm hoping that it's going to get some good attendance up already. 367 people up here, guys. What's up to everybody around the world? It is 7:30 p.m. here in Seoul, South Korea. Hope a crazy trial week. We're going to be doing a full rundown of a bunch of scenarios that are going right now, a bunch of LawTube drama that we're going to run over. We're going to talk about what's going on with Runkle. We're going to talk about what's going on with Joe and Tug. All the videos that got taken down. We're going to cover that drama. We're going to hit some memes. We're going to hit some counterclaims and what's going to happen with the counterclaims. Guys, it's going to be a good episode today. And on this good episode, I am dragging in a man who I believe is on like 38 hours with no sleep right now. Maybe it's 40, maybe it's 50. I don't know. Is my friend Jeff from Legal Vices. How's it going, Jeff?
Hello again.
Welcome to LawTube.
I feel just like Amber Heard making the press tour for Aquaman 2. Like 3 people have talked to me.
At least you're going to be, at least you don't feel like Amber Heard on a night with James Franco and Cara Delevingne.
Yeah. I'm on my 37th hour with no sleep, so I'm
party
only
time,
about
baby.
50% responsible for anything that comes out of my mouth at this point.
That's good. Dylan says, in before the stream gets nuked by Amber Turd. We're going to be talking about these streams getting nuked, guys, because this nuking, it may happen to us live. Like we're right now, we're live. I am crossing my fingers that it is not nuked. But if this video suddenly goes private, well, you know what's happening, guys. Shout to
I love YouTube. I love Amber Heard. I love everybody. You're all wonderful. No,
that's not what it is. That's not what it is at all. It's either one of two things, and we'll get into it. But I'll tell that in a second. Before we do that, though, guys, in the chat, I've seen some of you have done it already. I see in Ireland here. I've seen in Australia up in the house. Can you guys let me know where you're checking in from today? Drop in the chat where you are in the world, because I'm thinking of doing more of these morning chats, morning streams, especially for the people that are not in the United States, like me and Jeff. Jeff is in Busan, South Korea. I'm in Seoul, South Korea, so we're in the same time zone, but much different sleep cycle than most people in America. So let me know where you are. Let me know if you like this. Let me know if this works well for you. A lot of Australia and Ireland, like several Australia and Ireland here in the house. So I see Netherlands, Lake County, UK, Buffalo. Okay, all you Americans are freaking insomniacs, okay? I'm just going to throw that out there. A lot of Irish. We got Sweden, we got Greece, we got India, Germany, Vigets, Western Australia, Perth. I know a friend from Perth. He's a porn star, but he's still my friend. Russia, Brisbane, West Coast United States. Hot damn. You guys are not sleeping today. A lot of Aussies here, Munich, and yeah, Netherlands. Good stuff, guys. So good to see you all here in the house. New Zealand, I saw New Zealand as well, and Philippines. I need to get down to the Philippines. I've never been there. Have you been to the Philippines?
I haven't. I was planning on going there, but COVID had different ideas. So
yeah, I mean, it's so weird, right, Jeff? Because here in Korea, like my kind of idea is I've never been to a lot of the Asian countries. So I felt like, okay, Korea's like closer. I don't have to fly across the entire fucking ocean to get there. So yeah, I plan to do a lot of that now that COVID is finally sort of rescinding, I guess, semi-rescinding. I mean, our neighbors to the north are having some trouble, but we don't talk about that. So,
cheers. I'm going full on breaded with a triple olive martini this evening.
You have a triple olive martini. I don't even know if I have any alcohol left. What do I got here? I'm just gonna have to drink straight soju. This is kind of raw dog, but Jesus
just throw
Christ.
some olives in it and call it a martini. That's
all right. All right, guys. Got the soju here. I started it during Nick's stream. I was taking some shots, but cheers. We're going to straight from the head.
Cheers.
Off. That's rough. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right.
Mine's not.
I know that. But it's $1. So, hey, you know, I'm efficient here. All right, guys. So we're going to jump right into it with some of the issues here tonight. Also, California. Helen, what's up?
Yeah.
Up all night working. LawTube keeps me going. This is awesome. And, you know, we're happy to keep you up. I'm glad we're keeping you up.
Yeah, me too.
Guys.
Keeps me up too, apparently.
You need to get your stamina up, man. You got to get your reps in for LawTube.
Yeah, I've got to forget I'm 52. I've got to feel 30 again.
52 is how many hours you should be able to stay up. That's the amount of hours you need to train to stay up.
It is Friday night.
That's right. Brazil, what's up, Brazil? Good to see you. Bom dia. And we got some Canucks in the house, a Serbia in the house, and then True Stick, you need to get out of here with this North Korea's best Korea thing. All right. In Portugal, what's up? All right, so let's jump right into some of the issues. So you guys may have heard, or maybe you heard the scuttlebutt about what was going down. And it was going down with our good friend Ian Runkle. And here's an actual picture of Ian Runkle. I don't know if you guys know Ian Runkle, but this is an actual picture. It's an actual picture of him from the trial. This is totally facts. I totally am not making this up. It's not slander at all. But good. Ian Runkle was streaming with Law and Lumber, and he was out there. They were streaming together during. Minsky says soju is life right now. Yes, soju is always life in Korea. It keeps this country running. That is definitely a fact. So Ian was streaming with his good boy Law and Lumber. Here's the bromance right between the two of them right here. They were streaming. They had 30,000 watchers. They had 30,000 people on this stream. And all of a sudden, while they're streaming this on Herd's, the title was Day 19, Depp versus Herd. Herd's team forgets what team they're on. All of a sudden, during this stream, they get taken down. Their video gets sent to private. And when they go to appeal it, it says they can't appeal that decision. It's unappealable. It's unappealable. So all of a sudden, they get hit by this. Then Joe Neerman, the stream that I was on with Joe Neerman, gets taken down. Now, look, if just Joe's stream with me got taken down, I can tell you exactly what it is. It's that we were way too fucking based, is what it was. And way too unfiltered. And probably some of Joe's theories about Einstein probably got us taken down. But no, it wasn't just us. So Runkle's down, Neerman's down, his stream with me, and then Tug gets videos taken down as well. That are all of them are being shifted to private. You cannot appeal it. You cannot turn them back to non-private. So this is really fucking weird. It's really fucking weird. So they nuke Joe, and I see a lot of other creators, a lot of smaller creators who are having the same problem. There was this guy with 100 watchers who had the same problem. That's like, at first we thought, okay, they're just targeting, it's Amber Heard's PR team. They're targeting the big channels, which could be possible. Could be very much possible. And by the way, Max, thank you. You'll need to GoFundMe for a new liver. Thank you. I think that 251 will definitely help us. Or yen will definitely help us get that new liver. We're going to get the budget new liver. So this is what the response was. So we got this response. So it says right here, Team YouTube. So this is actually me responding, but this is the response. Team YouTube, from Team YouTube, because everybody added Team YouTube. And there was the hashtag Justice for Runkle and Justice for Joe, which actually trended for a while. And they say, creators, we're receiving reports with your recent videos and live streams that are being set to private. Something seems off here. And we're working to solve this right now. Okay, so they did not say this is a glitch. This is the thing right here. Something seems off. This really indicates that I think that the PR team or somebody involved in Amber's team is going through and flagging all these videos, particularly for spam, which is what the letters that come to their emails all say, spam and deceptive practices. That's why they were taken down. And
I'm wondering if it's a disgruntled employee somewhere or some woke snowflake somewhere in the bowels of YouTube.
Well, here's the thing. Why would they just be targeting Amber Heard videos, Jeff?
Well, if they're fans of Amber.
Sure, they're like an Amber simp.
Yeah, or a woman who thinks, I don't. If it was just someone targeting, do you think they'd pay attention to all? I assume everything gets handled automatically before someone reviews it by hand. So well, it's always automatic resolution, but before manual.
And so it could be a bot. But once again, if people are getting flagged, like if somebody's flagging, they just take it down in the interim and then they'll put it back up later. But that kind of fucks you if you're doing a stream. Like, to be straight up, that fucks you because you're in the middle of streaming. Like, imagine we're streaming right now. All you guys are watching, the stream goes dead. Well, most of the viewers just kind of go away. And then even if they put it up later, it's kind of like, okay, well, you don't know it's going live. You don't know where to find it. It's weird. It's really weird.
And Joe did not take it well. We did not take it sitting down.
Joe tends to get a little worked up. I don't know if you ever met Joe. He's a little cantankerous guy, but you know, I love him for his cantankerousness. It's quite adorable. It's quite affectionate. So anyways, this is where they go. I put back that they need to resolve this ASAP. It's too suspect. It's too suspect that it's fake. You could be right. It could be a simp. It could definitely be a simp at YouTube. I think it's more likely that it's the PR team because they literally were staring daggers at Runkle and Rob and DUI guy. So I'm thinking they're on to.
So they were recognized in court then.
They were recognized. Literally, Amber was like fucking staring at them. The team was staring at them. The lawyers were staring at the other, Amber's lawyers were staring at them. So they know who they are. They know who they are. Because they first of all, they look like attorneys. You know, they're wearing suits in the court. Second of all, they're like live streaming from the courthouse, which is, yeah. Jen says, I was in the middle of watching Joe's stream when it went down. So yeah, insomnia. Yeah, there you go. Globe Samurai with the 1,000 yen. Don't knock the yen. Keep up the good life. Thank you so much. That'll help us when we actually are able to visit Japan again. Should be shortly, I believe, for us here in Korea. I think we'll have like a dispensation to come earlier than those coming from other countries because they trust Asians more. But we'll see.
We're still stuck on a 3-day quarantine going to Japan.
Oh, we are if we go.
Yeah, anybody from Korea gets stuck on a 3-day.
Okay,
I can in the middle of a 3-day quarantine.
I can handle a 3-day because I'll just stream during the quarantine. Like, I don't think that's that big of a deal. Like, it's like, oh yeah, 3-day quarantine. Oh no, like that's fine with me if I have to stream because, like, pretty much, guys, during these streaming days, I'm effectively quarantined. Like, I go to the store, I get stuff, and then I come right back in. But I'm not going out much when I'm streaming like crazy like this. Scummy PR team says, what will you and LawTube do, Andrew? Oh, we're on it. We're already following up on it. And we talked about it a little bit on Nick's channel. I jumped on Nick's channel for a bit, but it is the most idiotic idea to attack a group of lawyers who have public YouTube channels and a lot of free time. Not only could they represent themselves in court and they have other friends to rely on for like court documents, but on top of that, literally they will be shamed by 20 plus internet lawyers who are going to stream this for fun and profit. I mean, it is the highest level of retardation. It's real bad. It's real bad. So yeah, we're not going to take this sitting down. We're going to fight back, guys. And I know some of you are new to LawTube. I know some of you are new to the channel. I knew some of you new to the community, but we do not take this shit sitting down. We organize, we know each other. We're all friends. We back each other up. So, I mean, Jeff is my friend. I brought him in. Now I'm helping him introduce to Nick and everybody else. But, when you're in the community you're in and other people will back you up. So, yeah, we're definitely not going to take this thing sitting down at all. And we're not going to let people intimidate us. That's not going to happen because we're not paid shills. We're not, in the pocket of anybody. That's the difference. And that's also what scares them. All right. So next we got some memes, right? So if you guys were on listening to me and Christina, you know the Batman origin story now. If you have not seen the Batman origin story, you need to check that out for my stream earlier today about the Bat. I will say, though, when I was in law school, because of this Bat story, when I came to school the next day, we had lockers for law school, like high school. And there were Batman stickers all over my fucking locker. It was super annoying to peel them all off. But good stuff. Did you hear the rabies story? Did you catch me telling that one, Jeff?
I did not.
Okay, well, I'll tell it another time. I'll tell it when we're drinking because that's a good time to tell it.
I'll go back and watch it.
Okay.
Who needs sleep?
I'll give you the addendum, though. Joe and myself, of course, somebody subbed out my pen for a little of the Johnny's Good stuff here. So this is kind of this is a good one. I like this meme. It's good. These are solid memes, guys. By the way, if you want to send me memes, at The Legal Mindset on Twitter. All right, next. I survived Johnny Depp's rage-fueled picnic of 2022.
Good.
Seriously, man. Seriously, this is crazy. This is like the level that they're freaking out about. Next. What if any? What if any? I mean, would you cluck that?
See, that's like a good mashup of Ellen and Ellen. You got the Elaine and Ellen mashup there.
Yep. The judge. This is not a meme. This is an actual real image. This is a real fucking image. This is the thing. It's not even a meme. This is real. Super
like
real.
Rick Moranis there.
She actually does look like Rick Moranis there, like a lot. But you can tell what she's thinking. She's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like,
or Woody Allen from Annie Hall. I can see Elaine going, "Well, what would you do? Jew do? Why did you say Jew? You didn't have to say Jew. Would you do it?" She looks like kind of a Woody Allen, Rick Moranis thing going on there.
Yep.
I got the Woody Allen glasses and nose on a Rick Moranis head.
Yep, exactly. Let me get this. Oh, Minsky says we cannot let anyone else known as Amber Turd intimidate independent media, independent journalism. Truth shall come out, especially without technology works. Thank you, Minsky. Yes, 100%. Here's the thing: the truth is coming out. They're trying to suppress it, but there's no way to do it. It's too big. It's caught on too much. You cannot suppress it. You can't whack all these moles. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. And the thing is, when you have people like ourselves and like all of us who are just going to speak our mind, we don't have brand sponsorships, or we don't have corporate sponsors that are going to tell us to shut up. None of like that. We're going to do what we're going to do. We have our own audiences who like us for us. So we're just going to say what we're going to say. I mean, Jeff, you're building your audience, but you'll find that your audience has got your back. Like in any fight, that's the thing. You guys, my community, the people who are part of the Legal Mindset squad, the Legal Mindset family, you guys are there, right? And we appreciate that. Got to DM Jeremy the Quartering about the LawTube attack. Yeah, I'll DM. I've had Jeremy on before. Like he's a good guy. Like we've gotten along. Lofty actually, as much as I don't like his takes on Doctor Strange and how he thinks it's an actual good movie, and not super bad, he does some good memes, and I think I have one of his memes queued up, or at least one of his comments queued up, because he's got some funny takes. Let's see here. Cromwell says, if called, how will Jennifer Howell be able to present what Whitney told her without it being dismissed as hearsay? A prior inconsistent statement is one of the options. There may be some other options depending on how they want to bring it in. It could be like a present sense impression or something else like that as well. All right. Let's go over here. Week 1, James. Week 2, Runk. Week 3, whoever the hell this is. Week 4, bitch face Whitney. Week 5, sleeping in the back. This guy kind of looks like Joe too, by the way. Like,
kind of, yeah.
He kind of looks like Joe, right? Like a little like Sleepy Joe, but Joe Neerman, not Joe Biden.
Well, I thought it was interesting the thing that Runkle was saying about one of the jurors just snoozing it off now, just giving zero fucks.
Yeah, I mean, why not? If you've decided, you've decided, right? I mean, you're a juror, you have your own prerogative, right? They can't force you to pay attention. They can force you to sit there, but they can't force you to pay attention. Oh, by the way, hit the like and subscribe button, guys. We have 5,000 people in the chat. This really helps us in the algorithm, helps us fight against the turds of the world. So please, if you guys are anti-turd in your bed, please hit that like and subscribe button.
And you're this far from 45,000 subscribers. So you got to get him up over the 45 bump.
Oh, guys, you get me there. Come on, you guys will get me there. What is the proof that Amber Turd lost the counterclaim? I'm going to get into that. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to finish on that. I've got a bunch of stuff I'm running through, but we are going to talk about how Amber has lost the counterclaim, how she's lost.
And I think I know exactly what you're going to say about that.
We're going to go to the actual court document. I've heard a lot of people talking about it, but not a lot of people have gone to the document. And I think people realize it's actually counterclaims, plural. So we're going to go through and debunk all of them and show exactly how she's lost the arguments, right? Scotch from Ireland, that actually sounds tasty. Very tasty. What's today's cocktail, Vices?
It is speaking of our friend there from Scotland, it's a Bruichladdich gin, the botanist, with a triple olive martini and a Lille Blanc for the vermouth.
Vices is a fancy man, guys. Brian Dice is the fancy man. He's a fancy man. It's actually, you know, he has two modes. Jeff has two modes. Either we're at the best bar in all of Korea or at the seediest dive this side of Mos Eisley. Like, I mean, it's
that's
one
why
or
you
the
start
other.
out with good and then you go straight into the shit after that. Don't waste your money once you can't taste it.
That's a good rule. I am Veggie says, good to hear. You and LawTube represent the interests of people rejecting the increasingly obvious interests and narrative that Access and big mainstream media are peddling. I'm not the only one invested in this. Keep at it, bro. Yeah, man. We're all in this fight together. This is all of us against them. And guess what? We're actually fucking winning. Like, this is affecting, we're out here affecting Amber Heard's psyche. Think about that. Us having this stream, you know, she's watching. She's watching these videos. She's flipping the fuck out. She's going crazy, and we are helping make that happen.
Well, I think that started. I mean, the genie is out of the bottle after yesterday's hearing, after yesterday's trial. Now the whole world knows there's billions of people with justice for Johnny and Amber's turds, and it's out there.
They can't say it because there's literally the proof. Oh, guys, thank you for the 45K. Appreciate that. Hit that 45K. So thank you. Appreciate that, guys. But hey, we got to push for 50, man. We got to push for 50. We're almost there. All right. Next. This one was sent to me. Actually, someone here sent me a lot of the Jodi Arias ones, like Jodi Arias and Amber Turd. Sent me a lot with her. I see the similarity. How about you, Jeff?
The nose, lips, yeah.
Amber's got the evil eyes. The eyes, yeah. But would you still smash Jodi Arias?
Yeah. I have no shame.
Reluctantly. Okay, I gotta actually turn the audio for this one, so I'll do this one a little bit later. This is the Snoop Dogg video. This is fucking hilarious. But I've actually got to turn audio for a lot of these. That one too. All right, so let me show you these ones here first. So SpaceX. So apparently a SpaceX attendant says Elon Musk exposed himself and propositioned her for sex. Why do I bring this up? Because Elon was just exposed with his three-way with Amber Heard and Cara Delevingne. And there's also those dicey photos of him feeling Amber up in the elevator. And by the way, Amber's move seems to be to cover herself in that same nasty ass blanket, half naked underneath, and then wiggle up to whoever it is, whether it's Franco or Elon. She made the move on both of them the same way. Oh, is Tug here? Wait, is Tug actually in my chat? So if Tug is in my chat, you know what I'll do? I will send Tug a link. If Tug is actually like straight up in my chat. So you know,
ladies, if you're harassed by Elon Musk and you settle for $250,000, you're an idiot. Add another 0 on there at least.
Well, here's the thing that makes me wonder if did he actually do it or not, right? Because I mean, you could get way more, right?
Well, that was like the whole thing about the Ellen Barkin getting, what was it, $8 million out of her billionaire husband for their divorce. Not a lot of thinking going on there.
Yeah. I just toss it over to Tug if he wants to come on, because if he's in the chat and he wants to come on, then I got him the link. So Tug, if you're in the chat, sent you a link on Twitter, brother. So check your Twitter, check your Twitter DMs. So if you want to come on, you can come on just for a second. All right, you don't have to stay all night. It's no commitment, right? This is legal mindset. We don't believe in commitment. But here we go. We got a little bit more. Let me show you some more of these memes and other stuff right here. We got some really fire stuff here. So right here, boom, boom, boom. We got Snoop Dogg reacting to Amber Heard.
Oh, there we go. Little cute little lizard. What the hell is going on? He's being watched. Snakes are straight assholes. You could tell the way they looking at him. They plotting right now. See how they got their necks up? That means they coming to get it. The lizard don't even see what's happening. But you understand me? One thing about a lizard, I think he a Geico. If he a Geico, he got a 15% chance of making it up out of here. Oh, he peep game right now. He's seen it. He's seen it. You watch. Oh, get out of there, man. Go. Did you see the feet on him? Oh, they coming from everywhere, cuz. This is crazy. Oh, that's up. He is just.
This is prime content. This is prime content, guys. This is like a merger of two hilarious things.
In the Snakeville, USA. There's snakes coming from all angles. As he dips and dashes, he makes a getaway, jumps into the arms of a big snake. Wrong, but they twisting themselves. Find the loophole. You gotta find your way to the top of the mountain now, nephew. He's jumping. He's very well trained in escape tactics, as you can see. Oh, good move. I like that. Oh, jump. Run. Oh, there you go. Get a hold of it. See, snakes can't do all that because they ain't got hands and they ain't got feet. Damn. Yeah, because I'm up on the top of the mountain with you. Remind me of my.
All right, that one's pretty good actually. Like that one's pretty solid. That one
that took a lot of work. That took a lot of work.
Oh, and we got a special guest, Tug. How's it going, brother?
Hey there, how's it going, man?
Good. What time is it where you're at? Because we're like the demented people in Korea here, but I know you're in the States, so
it's like 6 a.m. I just woke up. So.
Man,
good morning, brother.
I've just spent the last 2 days in the presence of royalty. This is awesome.
Oh man, what a day yesterday. That was interesting to finally, to have that exposed. I never thought I'd have it exposed in the middle of the trial, though. That was kind of weird.
We were all, I mean, I don't know. Did you catch us all? I don't know if you saw the videos of all of us on all the other legal streams. Like as soon as your name was mentioned, we're like, yeah.
I caught you all on Ricada. I haven't looked at everybody yet.
I was on Ricada and we were like, Doug, it was fucking hilarious. And I love how the line was, and I've been saying this on all the streams have been on the last day was, Adam was like, yeah, I treated the internet journalists, the same as the mainstream media. Yep. I was like, oh, that burns them. That burns them so much.
Oh, it does. Well, that's true though. I mean, that's exactly what he did. I wanted to know more about this stuff. So I put out a call and like I said, I'm going to say it this way. I don't remember how we got in contact. I'm going to go with that, Yeah. And I don't remember the exact of our conversation, but, no, I put out a call for information and I really don't remember how it's been like a few years now.
Right.
But,
right.
Adam Waldman, and at first I thought that's not really who that is. I thought that was a freaking, a troll or something, but no, it was Adam Waldman. And the one thing I have to say is every question that I had, he answers with a fact, He was likable. I mean, I know you're streaming and you're watching this stuff, Tug, like, day and night, but he was very believable, very likable. He was not the swarmy, greasy lawyer that you don't like. He was not Elaine, certainly. He was a very personable guy, and I really just enjoyed his commentary. I mean, I don't know how you took it as a whole, but I think that his testimony helped Johnny way more than it helped Amber. Oh yeah. He's the wrong person. First of all, he should be the lawyer that's on here. I'm gonna be blunt about it. He should be the lawyer that is on this case. Unfortunately, do you know how he got removed?
No, how did he get removed? I'm not. No. Fill me in.
So this was it was a jacked up method. So she took everything that was in this case, turned it over to the Sun, made it all public. So every document that was attached to this, everything that had been marked, classified, not for the public, it all got dumped into the public because of her. So he was, we all were posting about that stuff, including him. He'd been talking about this is what happened. That's what happened. Well, they filed a motion saying that he was showcasing exhibits that weren't public, which she made them all public, and it got him kicked off the case. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty dirty. I knew one dirty attorney that back in the day, this is up there with scummy attorney tactics, but they would fax confidential documents to experts to disqualify them from testifying against their clients. So they'd find, for example, the best heart surgeons in like a med mal case and fax them all confidential information. I mean, that's up there. That's up there.
Yeah, that's the same as going through you want to get a divorce, you go to the phone book and you literally consult with every single divorce lawyer in town.
Yep. Dirty stuff, guys. Dirty stuff. Let me get this one from NCYX. 25,000 Korean won. Washion Rikita, became a fan when I saw you had soju in your fridge. First time watching it live. Actually new to this law. This trial got me here. By the way, I'm in Cheongju right now, right in the middle of you. And legal advice is awesome. Well, if you're ever in Busan or you're in Seoul, let either one of us know. We both like to drink. Let's just put it that way. Let's put it very simply. We have an alcohol problem.
The problem is not enough of it.
That's what I thought when I got on here. I thought, man, you know, when you were like, hey, you know, what time is it? I was like, I'm not even drinking yet. And I thought maybe I shouldn't say that live yet.
You're awake, so you're just not trying.
Well, it's 5 o'clock here, so you know we're down. So Tug, one thing I was talking about, and I wanted to like touch bases with you, and I'm glad you bounced in, was I hit on the whole YouTube video takedown. I showed the response that I got from Twitter, which was very ambiguous. And I just want to show you. You've probably seen it and got emails, but it was very ambiguous. I was like, this is extraordinarily suspect. All of my antennas go up. But their response from Team YouTube was, creators were receiving reports that your recent videos and live streams are being set to private. Something seems off here. We're working on resolving this right now. And I just straight up said, look, okay, something seems off. They're not saying whether it's a technical glitch or whether it's people reporting, right? Mm-hmm. But why is it affecting the Depp trial? Why is it only the Depp trial videos?
Setting to private, like that's a weird one. Anyway, I've never had that. But now I've had since I've covered this, I've had, just not counting thumbnail flags or anything, I've had 9 strikes off of this. I had to find a reputable multi-channel network that could communicate. When you get flagged, you're getting flagged by worker X at a call center, right? So when you put in a appeal, you're getting worker Y at a call center somewhere. What you need is you need someone past that. That's what multi-channel networks, if you can find a reputable one. There's a lot of scam ones out there, but right, you have to find and that's what we had to do. So I've never had that one, but I did have a live stream that was deleted. I used to set them private and delete them because they would flag them so hard. They would make that, God, I can't think of her name. You remember the handbills that were being put out on the cars? The girl who does that, she also makes little bot programs to flag people. So she's crazy.
That's a horrible human being. That's a horrible human being.
I wish I had that much free time to learn how to do that and then execute it.
So how are your videos though? Did you had one taken down? I mean, that's what I heard. That's what everybody's reporting. You've had
9. I've had 9 things flagged, but I had a live stream that was deleted. It got flagged so much that YouTube hit it after it had been deleted. And the rub on that is, if you delete material, you can't appeal it. You know how if you get flagged, you delete it after the fact. Well, you're screwed. Apparently, if you've deleted it before and they flag you for it, you can't either. So that took about 14 days to fix. Yeah.
Wow. Any within the last 24 hours, any that have been caught up in this most recent? Not yet. I'm not trying to jinx you, Doug. I'm not trying to jinx you. I'm just saying, it's
almost everything I do to be approved. Like my channel, I for covering this, I don't get many freebies that just go out there. Mine usually have to sit for X amount of hours, and I have to have them approved by someone. So.
Yeah, I can see that, frankly. but that being said, I mean, on this just topic generally, you put her Depp in your title card or anywhere on the you can even put it in the thumb, and at this point you automatically have to go to review for monetization, right? Automatically, it's an automatic partial demonetization just using that title, and it takes hours and hours to get that review.
There's certain words that set it off too. So you can actually this is how long I've covered this. You can a lot of times put a word before heard, like team heard, and sometimes that will keep it from triggering, but you can't use specific words in the title, like admits, justice. Justice is you put justice and Depp or justice and Johnny in your tag, bam, it's over. It's just there's like a million different censor rules. It took me about a month to figure them out because it's not just demonetization, it's you get throttled. A lot of you don't reach a wider audience oftentimes, and you want this stuff to reach a wider audience.
Right. You want it to get out there because people are looking for it. You know, I mean, there's clearly a demand. People want the information, and clearly the mainstream media is not giving it to them, which is what we've learned in the trial.
To tell you how bad the censorship was, TMZ will cover anything. I mean, absolutely anything.
They have no shame.
I've learned
they have no shame.
No, not at all. I mean, they'll cover like, somebody, I don't know, buttering a freaking bagel, whatever. They'll cover everything. Well, I learned through a source that the body cam footage, when it was first brought up, TMZ was offered it first and they declined. They would not touch it because there was just something in the media where they wouldn't cover anything that was Depp positive at all.
But he wasn't damaged in this.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think about the because this is the part that really got me laughing, and I haven't heard your take on it yet. What did you take of the Twitter hashtag analysis?
Oh, I got a good laugh out of that. First of all,
I mean, I got my best tweet ever, like on Twitter at all ever. My highest liked, highest retweeted tweet is hashtag Amber Turd is now part of the court public record.
Yep. I'm proud of that. And they admitted it themselves. Oh my God. I about died when I heard that. I was like, you're really not going to go with that. You're really not going to have closing arguments that are going to include a hashtag Amber Turd, but okay.
When they are, and they've said now the jury knows that everybody's against her. Everybody knows they're for Johnny. I mean, whatever they were trying to accomplish, they accomplished precisely the opposite.
Yep.
I mean, I think all of those witnesses, they spoke more to Johnny being damaged than Amber.
Yep. Yeah. That's what I kept thinking with the talent agent and everyone. When you're saying, places won't hire someone accused of abuse. I was like, are you testifying for her again? Because I'm kind of confused.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, so this super chat here, Bully Win says, do you think her witnesses hurt Johnny's case a lot? I mean, I couldn't find one that materially impacted Johnny's case. I haven't found a single one that said something that can't be fixed on redirect, because we're going to get a redirect. We're going to get a rebuttal, right, from Johnny's team.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to guess like we're going to have, I mean, I heard this early on that Jennifer Howell, for example.
The Howell declaration.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of that is hearsay, though. A lot of that is hearsay.
It is, but there's still they'll try to use certain parts of it to raise doubt about the staircase incident, because if you take like Travis McGivern, he testified to being in the middle. You have these night and day different stories when you look at different people, and then you have her who was so close that this woman lived with her. I mean, she did. There are a lot of text messages out there that confirm the chosen sister thing. Yeah. She was in the UK. They were texting, and you could see the change when she talked to Adam Waldman. It was like, oh, hey, chosen sister. And then it goes to what the fuck are you talking to him for, basically?
Yeah. It's literally, it's so ridiculous how they were jumping around with that. And the chosen sister stuff, it's like everybody's a chosen sister, right? You're chosen, and you're chosen, and you're chosen, and you're chosen.
The way I took it is you're chosen above Amber. Like, that's my biological sister, but I choose you as my sister. I wish I didn't have to choose her,
Right. But she said it on the stand though, when Whitney was asked, she's like, oh, what does Amber call you? Amber calls you the chosen sister. It's like, I feel like it's always this projection thing. It's always like Amber wishes it was about her, but it's really not.
Oh, yeah. That's been the entire. It seems to be the entire case that with everybody speaking. She.
No, I think
she's stolen a lot of stories. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to answer the question. I think the witnesses helped Johnny much more than they hurt him. I don't know if there was any damage done, because we had three versions of the staircase story.
I think there's like five. I think there's like five versions now. Yeah.
Yeah. And now there's five. Plus, if we throw in the written statement, that makes six, and none of them are even remotely close.
Well, and it doesn't make sense. Like theirs doesn't make sense. Like you think about it, like picture it in your head. Okay, Johnny Depp has a soft cast on his hand, not a hard cast, soft cast, and he has MRSA in his finger. So he's a flesh-eating bacteria in there. You know how painful that would be?
It's
so
extraordinarily painful, yes.
So he's taking that with that soft cast and bashing you in the face because he's angry. Man, he's a badass, you know? Because I would have been sitting in the corner. I'd be like, oh my God, my finger's right off.
Right. Maybe the first hit is like, oh, you don't die, but like when you're pummeling someone with a cast on, that's gonna hurt a lot. That's gonna be
well. You saw in the abusing the cabinets video how he reacts when he gets a little bit hurt. He dinged himself on the door, and that set off the whole assaulting the cabinets video.
That has been one of the most misrepresented videos ever. So TMZ, the reason they're pissed off about that, I believe they bought it from Amber Heard, but they only uploaded.
They had to. I mean, Tug, they had to. This whole thing about where are they going to get the permission to play it from? Either Johnny or Amber. And we know it's sure as hell it wasn't Johnny, so it had to be Amber. There's no one else it could have been. And I think when she said she didn't sell it, we've noticed on the stand she doesn't count her agents as her.
Yeah.
Which is
it's a word game is what it is.
It's not a word game, it's deception. Everybody knows that if you tell somebody to do it, it's as if you did it. I can't have, someone come and be like, hey, Jeff, slap Tug, and like he comes and slaps you.
Did you read the deposition of George, the Eric George or whatever? Have you read that document?
No, I haven't read that one yet.
Well, it's got the NDA in it. I got that from a source, I'm going to say. And it's amazing because what you find out is she allowed Eric George to go in and to forego attorney-client privilege and talk. She thought he would just go in and softball, and he revealed the reason we know about the ACLU and all of that. Yeah, he kept letters. And that's where they came from. They came from her lawyer, Eric George, but he talks about, the NDA. And like you said, I mean, it's very descriptive on it. You can't talk about this. You can't, entice someone else or incite someone to talk about it. I mean, it's like you said, it's very descriptive.
Yeah. Let me catch the super chat right here. Trent says, good morning. I'm waking up in the EST, standing naked in the kitchen, mixing my cold brew for the day. Did Turt's countersuit get tossed yesterday? I missed it. Cheers. No, we're going to talk about the countersuit and why it is going to get tossed, in my personal legal opinion, because there's 3 claims as part of the counterclaims, and why it will 500% get tossed. But we'll get to that. And let me catch this other one here. Guys, thank you so much, by the way, for sticking with me in the morning. This is my first early stream, and it looks like this is a great slot. Seeing Manson assistant Thanksgiving video. Wait, what? Manson? You talking about Marilyn Manson?
Yeah, Marilyn. Oh, okay, so there's a video out there from his assistant recorded the Thanksgiving abuse that she talks about. Well, there's a recording of that, and it of course doesn't fit her narrative. That's the thing with all physical evidence. You look at it and the physical evidence doesn't fit her narrative at all.
Yeah, there's no physical evidence, and that's the problem with the counterclaims, and is that there's no physical evidence to support them. Also with their counterclaims, there's no damages. But with the sexual assault charge, the SA charge, or the SA post, there's no proof except for her word, right? We've got nothing. We've got literally nothing. This trial has given us nothing. And I don't think there's a single witness they can bring on. They would have brought them on by now that can testify to any of the SA elements.
I mean, think about how powerful the listen and believe narrative is, though. When you have 4 police on your side saying this never happened, and she's like, yeah, it did. And you still have to go play the guilty until proven innocent.
That's insane. I mean, that's the level at which the derangement has gotten, and it exposes people. Tug, I was saying to Joe Neerman, Good Logic, and I've said it to a couple other people, this is really a litmus test for sanity, because at this point, if you have watched the trial, now I'm not talking about people who don't watch and they're just going on what somebody else is telling them, or maybe they don't like Johnny Depp and they haven't watched any of the facts, they don't know anything. Not those people. If you've been watching the trial, you're tuned in, and at this point, you really feel like the evidence is leaning towards Amber Heard, or you're still standing for Amber. There's something there, right? There's
You're
some sort of
insane. Like you are crazy. That's a
right.
no. Actually, you're right. There's something more. You have an agenda, is what it is.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you have the objective. The trials that aren't this way, where you get the people that have their own agendas, their own ideas, their own preconceived notions go into the trial, and they keep those throughout the trial. They discount the little pieces that go against their personal belief, and they latch on to the ones that prove their point, and they keep that point to the end. But there is so little evidence of anything that she says. You can't possibly honestly look in a mirror and say that you believe what she is selling.
Right. There's no way you can say that this is a credible story, a credible account of what happened. It defies fact. It defies reason. It defies the testimony of literally every other person in the trial, as well as the documents related with the trial. It's too much to believe. Luke says, if you check at Team YouTube on Twitter, there are also some non-trial YouTubers getting strikes. Okay. I believe you, Lord Luke. I mean, I do believe you. Maybe it's because we're in this loop and we get the information from the streamers, right? So when we see it, when we hear it, we're hearing it with a lot of the streamers who happen to be streaming on Depp First Heard right now. So maybe it's just an unfiltered attack. Not sure. Seems sus. Yeah, I don't want to call it one way or another. We haven't seen too much data on it. At least Team YouTube is aware of it, and hopefully they remedy it right away. I think it's very dumb to piss off a group of public lawyers. I think that's a very silly idea. It's a very silly idea. Sam says, legal. Oh, this is for vices. You can actually answer this. Do they still smoke in bars in Korea? Is Thursday party still going in Gwangali?
Both of the Thursday parties are still going in Gwangali. There's two right next, literally it's the same bar right next to each other. There's one sort of the Koreans go to, and the ones that the hunting, they call them, the pickup clubs. Yeah, where the folks go to meet up with locals for language exchange. But it's going still there. It's a Thursday party, still a hot place. It's still picking up. No smoking in bars anymore.
Yeah, unless it's like a private club, right? So like you go to cigar clubs, you're a cigar aficionado, so you go to like cigar bars and cigar clubs, and you are allowed to smoke in those. Something like the United States, right? We have cigar lounges, and those are technically like membership only.
Yeah,
which is how they get around that.
You have to register as a leisure facility and pay an extra tax and get some more oversight and things. But yeah, generally speaking, they're all They're all registered as there's no such registration as bar in Korea. You're registered as a restaurant or something else. Most are registered as restaurant because they sell food. You can't smoke in restaurants.
Eve Barlow's Rotten Crush. One of the most likely people to be brought back for rebuttal. Eve Barlow blocked the Twitter account of this name within 24 hours of creating it. Oh,
why?
Props, brother.
Why would you block that?
So I think, in no particular order, because I know there is a strategy to the order. Definitely, to me, Dr. Curry, Dr. Mommy Muffins. We got definitely Jennifer Howell, if they can get her, right? If she comes out. And I would say you could bring back Johnny.
I think you have to.
Especially if you have time on the clock. I think this is the big thing. There's right now it's 8 hours to 18 hours. So 8 hours left for Amber's team and 18 hours for Johnny's team. They can really play with that.
Yeah, and to put that into real terms, that they could go a full day into the morning break without allowing Amber's lawyers to say a single word.
Yeah, they're going to have to let some people go. That's awesome.
And imagine if it's Dr. Curry as the last witness and they don't have any time left and she just gets to like rip apart Amber. That will be glorious. I think that'll be absolutely glorious. Just to shred her entire story, shred the way she portrayed everything, just absolutely nuke it. And they won't have time to bring their expert on. It'll be perfect. It'll be perfect.
I want to see Kate Moss too.
Oh, Kate Moss could be good. But do you think there's a possibility of that, Tug, to get Kate Moss?
Well, they didn't. The first time this stuff came up, they didn't even try for her. So I haven't heard that. But I mean, they seemed really excited when Kate Moss came up. I know it opened the door for Tasha Henry, the domestic violence stuff for Amber in the past.
I think for the same reason they couldn't bring in Kate Moss, but now they possibly could.
Yeah. What was funny, they were told you couldn't bring in Tasha Henry. You saw them kick it, early on because they tried. They were I forget when they were gonna bring it up, but they just they kicked off of it. And I thought, man, that's a huge, that's a huge loss on there. And then she just reopened the door. So that was beautiful.
It's so good. It was chef's kiss. Perfect. All right. Let me jump over to the actual counterclaims to kind of bring this up because I want to go through them. Because I think a lot of people, we know that there's a counterclaim out there. We know that she sued for double, right? We're like, okay, she sued for double. There's a counterclaim. All right, we know about that. But they don't know what they are. And I'm skipping the facts here, guys, because we already know the facts. We've heard the facts. We don't need to rehear the facts in this case. But the first count for these are Amber's counterclaims against Johnny, right? So the first count is a declaratory judgment. So this is actually not monetary relief. This is literally just a declaration. So the court can just essentially enter into a judgment to do something in equity, which doesn't involve damages. So it could be anything that isn't money. So they could do, for example, a sort of restraining order against us. They can make a declaration that something is illegal, which is often what happens with a declaratory judgment. Oftentimes, if it's a government, let's say they pass a law that says no dancing, right? This is Footloose. They pass a no dancing law. They can say, hey, that's an illegal law. You can't do that. It's declaratory judgment. So in this case, Amber Heard wants a declaratory judgment that she is immune from civil liability. Sorry, this is such a fucking joke. It's hard to read. Immune from civil liability for Depp's claims in his complaint and for her statements in her op-ed because Ms. Heard's op-ed is regarding matters of public concern that would be protected under the First Amendment of the Constitution. Okay. So let's be very clear about the First Amendment here, guys. There's protected speech and there's unprotected speech. So what's really at stake here is defamatory speech. And defamatory speech that is damaging to another person's reputation, that is not protected speech under the First Amendment. Same as speech which calls for imminent violent action. So if I say, hey, let's go kill Jeff right now, that's not what I'm actually saying, YouTube, don't worry about it. But if I said that is imminent, right, saying actually go do it now, and that is not protected. In the same way, defamatory speech is not protected. So really, if Johnny proves his defamation case, this is out. So this one right here, we can say, okay, this is kind of out. If he can pass the threshold that there's possibly defamation here, this is out. This count is out. So that's count number one. Count number two is defamation and defamation per se. So this is for allegedly in the GQ article, false and defamatory statements concerning Ms. Heard. So the allegation that Ms. Heard committed a crime by perjuring herself in connection with the 2016 DVRO proceeding to state there was no truth to Ms. Heard's judicial statements of abuse whatsoever. So she's got to prove that that statement was defamatory. So essentially, once again, this comes down to she's got to prove that when he said it, he knew elsewise. He knew elsewise that there was no proof there. Second, that Depp was emphatic about his version of the events, and Depp was a party at the next party. Her eye wasn't closed. She had her hair over her eye. You couldn't see the eye wasn't shut. 25 feet away from her. How the fuck am I going to hit her? Which, by the way, is the last thing I would have done. So by alleging that Heard fabricated the bruising, well, from what we've seen, and you guys, I don't know.
Only 3 of these statements survived, so you only have 3 left. Actually, the judge eliminated all but 3. So the 3
right.
Adam Waldman statements actually that are left. So
yeah,
the judge agreed with what you're saying there.
Yeah, so these are out, right? So these are out, right? So these are boom, boom.
They're just
boom.
The 3 they focused on with. That's why they keep bringing Adam Waldman up and hammering him. The whole point that they're making is number 1, Adam Waldman made these, but number 2, he made them not as his own autonomous person, but as a representative of Johnny Depp.
Exactly. So to skip down to the Waldman ones right here real quick so you guys see. So once again, this is why they bring up Waldman. So Waldman, in a series of false and defamatory statements and implications concerning Heard's through the present, is quoted on page 6 of accusing him of committing defamation, perjury, filing and receiving fraudulent temporary restraining order demand from the court. Once again, we've seen enough information. In fact, Waldman's testimony leads me to believe this might be very well true. Mm-hmm. I think this is bolstered as truth rather than defamation. And once again, in any defamation claim, because this is essentially 2 defamation claims aimed at each other, the truth is always an absolute defense. So we're seeing that this information from what we've heard seems more true than false. Next, Miss Heard continues to defame her abused hoax victim, Mr. Depp, and the Me Too movement she masquerades as a leader of, and other real abuse victims worldwide.
Yeah, they keep bringing that up. You know, the hoax victim statements, like that's what they bring it up over and over again in the in the courtroom.
He's a hoax victim. I think we've seen right here that Mr. Depp is no hoax victim. I mean, even playing, you know, Tug, we played the other day. Jeff was on when we were playing the cackling video, and I'll just say it's my channel, so I can say the suck my dick video. I mean, that alone was abuse, you know, to me in my book.
Did you play that entire clip?
Yeah, the 10-minute clip.
Oh, we played it all, including the demonic cackling, all of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's like it's an hour long.
Sorry. No, we did not play the whole hour.
What was
it?
We played.
Yeah,
I get about,
if you want the hour long, I'll point you at it. You know, if you want it, because it's what's interesting.
Please.
Yeah, they what they left out is how it starts. See, that's the one thing that is really telling about it. He wants to leave. He said something about you know, he's tired of this relationship. You're not happy. I'm not happy. We need to stop this. And then she apparently, for him saying stuff like that, she had locked him out of his own homes and stuff. And then it ends up that way. And there's a part at the end where he's talking about, I want to call the police. Like we need this over. I want to call the police. So
that's the thing, is that right there, that in and of itself, I mean, is a sign of abuse. If this was a guy doing it to a girl, right? If the situation was flipped and they were locking, you know, that was, you know, Johnny Depp locking Amber Heard out, the case would be a lot better. The case would be a hell of a lot better. But that's not what we see here. What we see is that in every case, Johnny Depp did the responsible thing and removed himself from the situation. Unfortunately, he had other places to go. A lot of men don't have other places to go.
Can you pull the counterclaim up one more time for the?
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, I didn't exile it. I didn't exile it forever. I just kept it down so we were talking.
If you had go ahead. One of the other claims, the computer crimes claim, that it's been dismissed, but I don't think that was actually about winning at all. Like, I think so. They hired
this one, the violation of the Computer Crimes Act. Yeah.
So they hired a company called Bot Sentinel. They are a bully for hire company. They love to go after people. Well, they tracked 16,000 users online, and because of what they did, and because of this claim, you know, that everyone's a bot, they put in give me a minute. My brain's still half asleep.
Oh, it's all right. You're booting up, Tug. You're booting up.
Yeah. So they put in a subpoena for Twitter. They wanted to they wanted the user information behind 200 users. I personally think that was the move of this. It was to punish users for going against her. I think they were going to pull the information of 200 people, and like they did with anyone that testified for Depp, you know, at the beginning, I forget what you call the legal document, but you have to fill out a thing that talks about all the witnesses that, you know, you have, or anyone that
the witness list.
Yeah. So they, you know, it has their contact information, and Depp put that out there redacted. Well, Heard's team re-uploaded it to a document that it didn't really fit. You know, it was just one of these auxiliary documents, but they didn't redact anything. So they essentially,
that's dirty. That's dirty.
They doxed 87 people. Well, that's what I figured.
That's so dirty.
Well, they were going to do that with those 200 users, in my opinion. They were going to get information, and they were going to dox them all.
And once again, it's a dirty type of tactic. It's winning the underhanded way, and it's using the court process as a bludgeon, right? And using it as a way to inflict, you know, emotional damage on that person. You know, I think a lot of the strategy is in these types of cases where it's knockout is, hey, we may not win, but we're going to make you look bad, right? We may not win, but we're going to make you look like a druggie. We're going to make you look like a horrible human being, like a user, like an abuser, right? And we're going to ruin your reputation as part of this court process.
Well, that comes straight from the playbook of the particular quote unquote church that has its headquarters somewhere near Hollywood Boulevard, where they had their homes. The one
that we do not name.
Yes. Because there are some lines even
they are merciless. So let's not go there.
Yes, but, I did a big law school thesis on assault on the First Amendment, and used that particular group as the as the prime example, and
Yep.
had a few conversations with their lawyer about that.
That's a good one. That's a good one. And so guys, that's essentially the three things. So thank you, Tug, because that pretty much says the computer crimes thing is out, right? So that's out, right? And we had just the Waldman statements. And the reason why I say the counterclaims are done, are kaput, is because all we got from Waldman, we saw what we got from Waldman. We just saw it. And the only things we got were statements that were attorney-client privileged, right? And those, they don't enter into evidence. So none of those are actually entered into evidence. Those are not actual admissions of fact. Those actually are just not even in the record at all, right? They're nowhere. The jury cannot consider the fact that the attorney did not answer as the attorney being shady or unreliable. They cannot consider that. So I think as a matter of law, at this point, come Monday, unless there's some sort of crazy bombshell, which I think there's 0% chance of, I think the counterclaims get dismissed. That's my 2 cents. I mean, Tug, if you disagree with any of that, let me know. You've been following this closely, but I just don't think these counterclaims have a chance in hell. No, I think they're going.
They don't. They don't at all. It's just Adam Waldman is their boogeyman too. Like they really want to punish him because without Adam Waldman, when Adam Waldman came onto this case, he's very easy to overlook, and they never saw him coming because when you look at him, he does not, he's not physically intimidating. He sounds, he's nice. He sounds like a nice guy, but my God, when he gets in there, he's very effective. And
he's so effective.
He put together, he managed to turn one of her best friends against her. And oh God, in 2020, there's a recording of her burning her best friend. She did a secret recording of it because that best friend talked to Adam Waldman, gave him a statement, and she wasn't happy. So she secretly recorded her best friend for 15 minutes and she dumped it in the UK 2020 trial. I mean, it's just
crazy.
So it's fascinating stuff, but he managed to, get stuff like that. He managed to get, again, people to turn against, that wanted to tell the truth. And a lot of people, they may have been okay with helping her in a divorce settlement because they thought they were helping their friend.
Right. And it's a divorce. So, I mean, it's sort of a, that's more of like a personal separation. This is what is the truth, right? What is the root of the truth here?
And they just, there are people I know. I've been contacted by one of her friend group. They said I could, note that much about them, but they were talking about the changing narratives and how all of this stuff, if you go back and you listen to it, they were pointing at certain things to look at, and it is astounding. Like Australia, they focus so much on Australia. Well, give me a second. Let me pull up something.
Sure. Let me run through a couple of these super chats while you're doing this. So we'll do lightning round because I know there's a lot to get you through here. How likely is to win the trial? My percentage is at 95% for Johnny, at least on the essay claim. Jeff, do you want to give a number real quick?
I'm going to go 75%. Yes.
75%. Okay, that's very conservative, but I think that's definitely a fair.
I think it's just you because you just takes that one juror to agree that.
Yeah, the one
verbal abuse is abuse.
But the verbal won't work for the sexual, right? Because there's one of the claims is sexual. Yeah. So you've got to get somebody to believe that the sexual the sexual claim is legit. That's the real thing that hurts me. Guten Morgen, shut up, I can cook. Thank you for that nice super chat there. K-Rob says weeks ago, both Tug and Nick had their streams disappear for a few minutes. Chat still worked. Eventually they came back. Refreshing didn't fix it. I bet they're in the practice of pulling down multiple accounts. Look, guys, here's the thing, guys. When you start out on YouTube, you're very innocent. You're like, oh no, this stuff doesn't happen. There's no cabals. There's no, right. I mean, Tug's laughing because you don't want to go with this. But then you do this for long enough, and you're like, this is some fuckery. Like there's some fuckery afoot.
Yeah, you recognize the tactic. I mean, you do after a little while. You're like, oh, okay.
They don't like what I'm saying. And they need to take it down. Red Jewel says, thank you so much for the super chat. This is where the idea of believe all women. But we just don't believe all women are all women. We believe facts, and we always need to seek the truth 100%. Serious accusations should not be taken lightly. It's Minsky, by the way, who's my super chat limit. Thank you so much. Appreciate that switching over. I so really do appreciate that. but it's so true. I mean, my search for this is always for objective truth. And on my channel, I'm always, my slogan is be your own judge, make your own decisions. And part of that is seeking the truth, right? And I talk to people on the internet like Tug, and, Legal Vices is new, but I know Tug, he's been searching for the truth on this for a long time, and giving a voice to it when frankly, nobody else was, far before anybody else.
There was a lot of hate because, oh my God, you're going against me too. I actually wondered if my channel would survive what I was doing. A lot of people even like Yellow Flash, for example, he's like, yo, this is dangerous,
It's too hot. It's too hot. Yeah.
It's like, you're going, because Yellow Flash is who pointed me at it. Because, I think if I were younger, I think I would be diagnosed with OCD. I'm pretty sure. And I say that I'm a mental health professional. So I kind of know that.
Tug, what's your age range? Are you more close? Because you got me and Jeff here. We're like two ends of the spectrum. I'm like young for LawTube, and he's the senpai. So
I'm ancient.
Yeah.
I might be closer to
I'm 52.
I might be closer, but not that far, but I'm closer to him. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cause I'm 35. So, I mean, that's the spectrum here.
There's a 17-year gap there.
Yeah. But we can come together and say, hey, we can both smell bullshit. Like we can all smell bullshit no matter what our age is.
Oh, that's the thing. And that's why we're just starting out with this. I'm like 2 weeks into this. So I'm trying to say as much as I can, but sort of keep out of the crosshairs.
Yeah. Do you think that's why
that's why I say it on your channel and not mine.
And you can say whatever you want on my channel. I do not give a shit. I've long stopped that. Do you think that's why Elon is buying out Twitter? Wait, what? What do you mean to stop the rumor, the not a rumor of his three-way with Cara Delevingne and Amber? Tug, I've been showing this. Have you seen the photo of Cara Delevingne at the I forget what award show she is, but she's with Megan Thee Stallion, and she's just acting weird as hell.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember when all of that first came out. I forgot about it until that clip portion with Josh Drew. From that test, I'd forgotten all about it. There's a lot of stuff. I always wonder, like, what makes you go down this rabbit hole? Like Elon. Okay, I get Elon paying money while he's with her and stuff, but
right. That's hey baby, I got you. I'm your sugar daddy. I mean that sort of thing, right? I mean.
It's the uber rich thing. I mean, I have a couple of friends that like literally they give zero shits about money. I mean, they're far on the end of the ridiculously wealthy. And you just have you have to keep doing weirder and weirder shit because you expect nothing. You have no anticipation. You don't have to wait for anything. There's no delayed gratification. And then you just got to get involved in weirder and weirder shit.
Yeah, but he cares about his reputation. That's the thing. And he's the money man behind this case. Like Amber Heard, there was at first there was discussion about maybe because she can't afford this case. And
well, hold on. So what do you have a Tug? Have you really looked into? Have you done a deep dive on her finances? Because I mean, it seems like just based on my read of her, my just read of her, her status and what she is, and type of person she is, or her drinking habits, what shows she's been in. It seems like her finances are bad, but have you looked into just how bad they probably are?
Yes. Yeah. She can't afford, even with the money from, for that she didn't pay out a charitable donation. She could not afford this because it's not just her paying. She admitted she used on the stand. She said $6 million for the case. That's not including all of her PR moves and stuff. And all of her witnesses are broke as hell. And they're using the exact same lawyers. They're getting their bills floated too. And
that's not
good point. That's a good point.
I hope they have a retainer like that. I mean, I really hope that. I mean, Elaine is a horrible attorney. Like I hold no punches on Elaine, but I hope she has a retainer. Like I hope
they're getting paid for sure. And they have, there was a discussion over at first. Who's paying it? Is it an insurance policy? And the insurance policy would not pay for everybody else that's attached to this. They would
not for $6 million. Unless it was Lloyd's or somebody like that.
So it's a private benefactor. I wonder who. And,
who is she? whose bet is she in right now? Right, because that's the move.
Well, I think it's Elon personally because he's
Elon?
Always floated. Yeah. He started. I mean, it started back when it was closer to the relationship.
See, I would have thought. She would have burned Elon already because she seems. I mean, the pattern of abuse is to come in really hot, exploit them, but then retract, then dispose of them, then go away. Right? So
unless this is the payoff for not having something going again, for her revealing something or threatening to reveal something, this could be the payoff.
That's possible.
So the Jennifer Howe declaration you're talking about, I mean,
yes.
There's been again speculation over fertilized embryos, you say,
Oh, that's true. That's true. That is very true. I did like that theory. That was one from early on that you just reminded me of. So
well, this would also make sense. Something I hadn't thought about till you just mentioned it was that if he is bankrolling this would explain why he's not on the stand, because the first question would be, you're bankrolling this, aren't you?
Yep. And they asked that in documents. They asked it repeatedly.
I need to deep dive these documents.
Well, and she well, that's the one thing. If you look up any document that you can't get a hold of, a pay document, go look up the Real Laura B on Twitter. Like she was one of the 3 people named. They hate her because if she can't get a document, she'll pay for a document. She'll put it out there, and and they hate her because, I mean, she's my go-to for documents for everything. But you can pull every single thing in it. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think Counterclaim will be thrown out? Yes, we answered that, Christy. We do, in fact, think it'll be thrown out.
Objection asked and answered.
Hey, listen, if it's a super chat, you're allowed to ask and answer. We got the one on why Elon's buying out Twitter. Right back here, we got this follow-up, which is educational info available for everyone is important to people to understand how the legal system works and all of the facts out there, not self-serving like most of the mainstream media is doing. IMO. Thank you for all what you're doing, and thank you, Camille. Yeah, here's the thing. I mean, we have our channels, we have our messages we're putting out there. But the voice is our voice. Like, I don't have a corporate sponsor. Tug, do you have any corporate sponsors, or you gotta?
I refuse them. I refuse sponsors. I do not take sponsors. I do comic books once a year, and that's my that carries me through demonetization and everything else. So
Yeah. And I think that's important too. I think having that extra vehicle, right? I still do legal work. Jeff is still a lawyer right over here. He's getting started on YouTube, but I think it's important to be able to not be silenced and not be able to be cajoled, not to have your arm twisted. That keeps you independent. And I always say, the more independent you are, the more free you are, the more you can speak your mind. And that's important to me. That's one of my core values, is to be able to say what I want to say. And I think it aligns with the truth, but be your own judge.
Well, that's why, you look at Warner's involvement, for example, in this. You could see Warner finally came out and told the truth. They told it in they didn't want to get dragged into the court, but for 2 years they sat on information that was about the counterclaim, and in the public, I mean, they defended her. They sent out, you had like Peter Safran, who was the producer of Aquaman 2. He came out and he said, we wanted her from go, which absolutely wasn't true. Have you pulled up the WB, like their motion to quash or anything? Have you looked at that?
Not the WB's motion. I mean, you send it over. I'm happy to pull it up, but I mean, it's I haven't.
It blows up the counterclaim, is what it does.
Oh, well, there you go. I mean, look, the counterclaims were always garbage, and the damages were garbage. That's the biggest thing, is the damages have been absolute garbage. By the way, Steph says, good morning from Canada. Good morning back to you guys. And let me catch one more here so I get it. Catch this one right here. Thank you for the $4.99. And I'll just catch this comment. Kate Moss is Kara's supermodel mentor. Do you think that's where Amber got the Kate Moss stare incident from? That's interesting.
Well, the stare incident, I mean, that was a public thing. I mean, that was something we all heard about when it allegedly happened.
Right. Okay, so Tug, you send that over to my.
Well, now, Tug, is there a central?
Just share my screen.
Okay. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry.
I'll send it to you.
Is there a central?
No, it's fine. That's good.
Is there a central document dump, like someplace online where people have dumped these documents that you can go to?
There's the court documents, legal vices. I can send you that, but
well, I mean, like all of these, we're talking about the recordings, all of the.
There's a couple of sites that are good, but no, I mean,
so there's not a central WikiLeaks kind of place.
Yeah, no, not really. I mean, it's just people have been rolling with the punches, and like I said, it came so fast and furious over the last year and a half that. It's just
because I kind of went into this trying to focus on what is being presented to get it from the juror's point of view and trying to avoid as much as possible the extraneous stuff. But now it's fascinating.
But the extraneous stuff is really fascinating
to watch.
Now it's fascinating.
It's really fun.
I've totally given up trying to do that at this point forward. Yeah. I want more.
So the background on this, just fast is, you know, that he was released 2020. They protected Amber Heard. They said that they wanted her from the beginning. They wanted to get her. Well, you find out in their documentation, they Amber Heard pushes for both of them not to mention Warner Brothers or Aquaman 2 in the court at all, even though it's part of her counterclaim. She doesn't want it mentioned. And that's because behind the scenes, Warner, as part of their deal, told her, you know, don't pull us into the court, don't do anything. And she did right away. And you've seen the response. Well,
right.
Because of that, Johnny Depp's like, I've got to bring you in. And Warner said, we'll give you everything we have on her. So they say, you know, of course, we hired her per the terms of her contract. Mm-hmm. She did not suffer any adverse employment action by Warner Brothers in connection with Aquaman or Aquaman 2 because of any allegedly defamatory statements by Johnny Depp or Adam Waldman that are alleged in the counterclaim. Her compensation was not reduced because of the counterclaim. Now it gets even better.
This is just valid. I mean, we kind of were picking up on this, but this is like just absolutely nuking it from orbit.
Yeah. That you find out. So they didn't pick up her extension until 2 weeks before it expires. That's what we find out through other filings here. But I like how they use allegedly, and then they tell you they actually did it too. I love this. Any alleged delay in picking up her option for Aquaman 2 was due to creative issues in casting her for the role of Amira in Aquaman 2, which was communicated to her agent at the time. So her agent knew why that was there. Warner Brothers knew, and they sat on this information for 2 years. Then they tell you any alleged delay in Warner Brothers picking up her option for Aquaman 2 was not due to her dispute with Johnny Depp or any allegations and lawsuits specifically from the counterclaim. And my favorite too, Warner Brothers would not have paid Ms. Heard more money for Aquaman 2, even if she had more time to attempt to renegotiate her contract.
So she is not going to get a dime more out of us. That was it. We were done. She would have not gotten anywhere. They didn't have to say that statement, guys. They could have left that part out. They did not have to make that statement.
That flies in the face of what her agent said. You know, her agent was like, well, I expect her to make more money. It was like Warner Brothers said, hell no, we ain't paying you anything.
On what basis, right? On what grounds do you expect that? I mean, it really, for a comparable actress, you know, I think her pay was in the range, right, of somebody doing what she was doing, which essentially was the eye candy in the movie. You know, her acting chops are complete shit, as we're seeing in court.
She said that from the very beginning. Her roles were bit parts in big movies and big parts in shit movies.
All right.
Yep, exactly what she said. That is exactly.
Yeah, that's what she said. And that's not $100 million. That's not $100 million. Nowhere near that. Peggy says, got a notification that Fox News is reporting a woman come forward against Elon for alleged SA assault. So I just covered this a little bit before Tug got on, but there was a SpaceX employee who's alleging sexual assault. Now, of course, you know, I say this for everybody, even people I do or don't like, whatever, even if Elon is simping for Amber, whatever, I say, hey, let's see the facts. Let's see the information. I haven't seen it yet, right, on this case. However, it does put Elon in an awkward position.
He's already being sued for that too. Now the lady that's got him, now the lady that's in court with him as well. There's another one. She sounds crazy, but still, you know, he like most people don't realize, like he's in the middle of litigation. Like, I mean, like I said, this lady's crazy that's discussing it. She's claiming, you know, he's stalked her for years and this and that, but still
stalked her.
Yeah, stalked her for years. And again, when I look at that, I'll talk about it. But like you were saying, if we're talking about, you know, due process, it matters, and it's not guilty until proven innocent. I don't give a shit who it is, you know.
Exactly. I don't care who it is. I don't care if they're the worst person ever. They're their due process, right? And that the whole point of this whole escapade with Johnny Depp is he wasn't given due process for the court of public opinion, where everybody else judged him guilty immediately and acted as if he was what exactly Amber Heard said that he was.
Yep.
And they're doing that with everybody. I mean, we were just talking about Waldman. While you're talking about that, he's not towing the line they want him to tow, so they're vilifying. I just typed in Waldman in Google. The top 2 news stories are from the Independent. Johnny Depp attorney who called Amber Heard's abuse claims fake refuses to answer 75 questions from her team. Newsweek, who is Adam Waldman, lobbyist with ties to Putin, testifies in Depp trial.
Yeah, they used the Russian conspiracy, and oh God,
if you don't march in line, you're dead.
Yeah.
Yep. And you know, they went after him. The Rolling Stone article that they like bringing up, that Rolling Stone article.
Correction.
Really
Elaine says the Rolling Stones article.
That was actually very funny. I do like that. I do like that a lot. By the way, Star Sorcerer, thanks for becoming a member. Appreciate that as well. Kara Hightower says deepdive.net has everything admitted. So thank you all for your fortitude, and I'm glad we're all big fans of justice. No more questions, Your Honor. I think that's the admitted. So that's admitted to court. Yeah. So, and we also can go to the Fairfax County, and just so you guys know, and I'll put the link in the description. I assume that you guys knew, but I'll put it in the description with you guys. The Fairfax County, which is everything that's been admitted to the court, all the evidence as it's actually been admitted to court. So you won't see stuff like, for example, you're not going to see the Howell Declaration because it hasn't been admitted yet. So
we didn't have these things back in my day.
And I don't think in my, by the way, my legal opinion here, I'll say is I don't think the Howell Declaration is getting in. They have to get Howell's testimony. Howell's going to have to come in and say those things for them to be admitted into evidence.
I like that David, there was a mechanic that worked. He wasn't allowed in either. I just like looking at the declarations because the stories make her look batshit insane. And there's this guy who you can find the show. It's called Overhauling. Johnny Depp decides to play a joke on her, get her car fixed. You know, she has a classic Mustang. Well, this guy that's part of that, David Kalaki. I like his name. It's like
Kalaki. Yeah.
But he has some fucking insane stories about dealing with her dad, and oh God, look, I'll just pull up a paragraph of this, but this is beautiful.
Sure. Yeah, pull it up. I'm gonna get the super chat. Logic is so flawed that if Amber Heard was right, couldn't Daisy Rip, Jesus Christ, another failed series, start suing people because she hasn't done much since Star Wars. Well, if she had a claim, right? Amber Heard was never a flat out junkie until these trials, while Daisy was. Yeah, and by the way, Bom Gia down there in Brazil. Yeah, I mean the logic is problematic, right? If this is the thing, if Amber Heard was allowed to just run free on this one, especially if Amber Heard won her counterclaim, it will be a scary day in Hollywood. A very, very, very scary day. Tug's got this document.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hit this one part right here. This is about him dealing with the dad. He said, you know, during the attempts to facilitate repairs, he's trying to get paid after the divorce. He's like, I had to deal with her father, Mr. David Heard. After the separation, he was very bitter toward Depp. During a phone call with me, he stated that fucking piece of shit is fucking me too much because I'm supposed to get 10% of the money. And without it, I can't produce the movies I was going to make. And you got to imagine him in his Texas. He was ruining my baby girl's career and blackballing her in Hollywood, you know? And when I get
I'm from Utah. That's my native accent too, from Utah.
Yeah, I don't have too far to carry it from Tennessee. I just got to take a little twang out.
Little down south, yeah.
I was ridiculed earlier today for talking about maple syrup.
He's also said, when I get to him, I'm going to beat the shit out of him. And I'm from Texas. And men from Texas carry 45s. And Johnny's going to meet the fucking end of mine.
The business end.
Yeah.
Man.
Then Kalaki says, you know, I got onto him and I was like, maybe you're drunk. And he was like, yeah, I am. And maybe I'm going to shove that whiskey bottle up your ass.
maybe that's where Amber got the maker's idea. Yep. She got it from this statement right here. She's like, oh, let's make it a whiskey bottle.
Well, you know, her father, it's just like the animal abuse thing. Her father was... He actually, I guess, this was a long time ago, but still, he was arrested for dog fighting, and for like, I think that's where she got that.
That's one thing about Korea. There's also, I love animals. I always wanted to see a dog fight until I saw a dog fight.
Yeah,
that's some messed up shit.
You do not want to see that. Dragon's Treasure says, with Heard's team only having 8 hours left, how can they possibly do an entire week in closing? They seem too strapped for time. So Dragon's Treasure, let's be very clear here. They're not doing an entire week. Here's what happens. Johnny's team gets a rebuttal. They essentially get another go to bring out witnesses to rebut what Amber's team brought up during their presentation. So they haven't rested yet. So Amber's team has not rested yet. They haven't said, okay, we're done, right, with our case in chief. And it's possible they could use some of that 8 hours they have left to question somebody on Monday. I think that's fucking insane. if they try to do that. The only card they have left is calling Johnny to the stand. And Tug, I haven't heard your take on this. I've heard the lawyer's take on this. What do you think about the potential of them calling Johnny Depp, of Amber Heard's team, calling Johnny Depp to the stand?
You know what? Honestly, as stupid as some of the moves they've done, who knows what they'll do? Honestly,
Yeah.
but I
For
mean,
the
really,
love of
come
God,
on.
please do it.
Yes,
I
I want them
feel-
to do it.
That
You
would
know.
explode. I mean, number one, that'd be content. I mean, I'm happy. That's content. Like, that's just prime content. So please do it. That'll give us a bunch of laughs here. We will mock them to high heaven for their crappy lawyering, but that will not work out well for them. Does anyone know if the office to Kiwi Farms out the dogs? I do. I stay as far away from Kiwi Farms as I can. So I don't know about that. You guys have to testify that. Are we going to ignore how hot Hero Hightower is? I guess we are, Jack. I guess we are. Let's go right back up here. Oh, by the way, thank you for the super sticker, Miss Treat. And Lordy says, I wish Waldman says, I have no relationship with the Rolling Stones. Any communication with Mick Jagger or Keith Richards was strictly from Johnny. That's good. That's good. I like that one. Can we
Same
agree
objection, same reason.
Yep. Can we agree that no one thinks Marilyn Manson is a big deal? This is a satanic panic Hail Mary. Oh, straight out of the 80s. I remember playing, you know what I remember? When I went to my church when I was a kid and I was really into Magic the Gathering and I brought my cards there and there was still one like older person there that was like, that's the devil's worship, you know?
Mine was, Tug's in the middle, so I'm going to guess Tug's was probably backmasking. Mine was Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, I had some. I was on the back end of that. I had my Dungeons and Dragons burned too. They were second edition, but still.
Oh,
yeah.
See, I had the original 1976 pamphlets that are probably worth a fuck ton now.
Yeah, it is guilt by association, and it's sort of the same strategy as with the drugs, right? You're saying. You're around this person. You're around Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson is accused of something which has totally not been proven at all right now, and he looks creepy. Therefore,
Marilyn Manson's counter on his stuff is fucking insane. Like they're in there. He provides a document from Evan Rachel Wood. You know, he has two accusers. One accuser is her claim to fame is I drew Donald Trump with, let's just say, I drew the orange man with a small Cheeto. That's
well, it's like the Isaac Baruch art.
Yeah.
You know, it's like all right, all right.
It gets headlines for like a week, and she's like basking in it, and after it falls off, she goes public and says, I was assaulted by a Trump supporter. So, God, will she get?
That's a juicy situation, a Jussie Smollett situation.
Yeah. Well, she does it twice. She goes back twice for I was assaulted by Trump supporters.
Twice.
And then Evan Rachel Wood sent around a document that she claimed was from the FBI, and it's not real. So it looks like she created a fake account, like again, used a real person's name in the FBI, but
really
created a fake document attached to him. Oh my God,
that's real bad. That's real bad.
Yeah.
Like,
don't do that.
Do not fuck with the FBI, guys. Dude, really do not fuck with the FBI. There's a reason why the Fed courts have such a high conviction rate. It's not the same. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I know I've said this to you before. I would give, me being this straight-laced former Mormon missionary to Korea that I am, excuse me while I take another drink, I would give anything to party with Marilyn Manson for a weekend. That would be a highlight of your fucking life.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good time. Now, Johnny said he talked too much, but I think he's got good stories. I think I'd be willing to listen to him.
I've heard some stuff. Oh man, like from sourcing, I've heard some stuff with Marilyn. Oh God, man, one day Marilyn Manson will go to trial one day too, and when that goes to trial, it's gonna be
that'll be glorious. If it goes to trial, that'll be glorious.
Oh, it will. It will.
Well, we had the Bill Cosby headline today. Bill Cosby thinks R. Kelly got a bad deal.
Oh, but hold on. So you think it for sure will go? So you think he's going to go to court to kind of, I think, do the same thing and clear his name?
He already filed. He's going for sure.
Oh, he filed. Okay, cool.
Yeah, he filed. It's on. If you want to look at it, I'm encouraging. There's a channel that already covers a lot of it. I'm setting up collabs with them because I want to know again. I'm going to make this very clear. When I look at a case, I'm not saying that he's guilty or innocent, although it really bothers me. I've never been able to get this thought out of my head. The accusation alone makes us assume guilt, and we're always trying to disprove guilt, and that is a fucked up situation. Because
but Tug, that's exactly what we're hoping to invert. We're hoping that this takes a step towards inverting that presumption. Like, let's at least presume. I'm not even asking you to presume innocence at this point. I'm presuming neutrality at this point. Like, let's
right.
not. I'm not asking you to go like that. I'm not even, which we should be presuming innocence. But let's just be neutral about this and say, hey, there's some Amber Heards out there. There's some people like that out there. Let's just see what this situation plays out. Let's see what the actual facts are. For example, in Marilyn Manson's case, the fact that a lot of this behavior happened during an actual music video with multiple witnesses. There's it's literal video evidence. It's not facts that look really good for the situation. For the claims. Let me get the super chat here. Amber says, Amber used the embryos to have a baby 18 years of financial support from Elon. Grimes, Elon X, said they have a daughter via surrogate. So that's obviously an option right there. It's obviously an option. Stephanie says, I read Amber was worth 2.5 million and JD 150 million.
Well, he was worth 650 at one point, I think, but
but I think that's where
drug habit.
I think that's where he lost off, and that's where he dropped off. But that sounds about right. Probably about what they've got left. Although you don't know, they may have that in assets, but they don't know how leveraged the assets are, right? They may have already leveraged some of those assets and leveraged some of that money and taken out loans.
She ain't drinking those $500 bottle of wine anymore every day, unless somebody else. She's gonna have to have a benefactor just to support her wine habit.
a wine.
Anybody wants to support my whiskey habit? Hey, send me a message.
Speaking of supporting, by the way, guys, 17K in the chat. It's actually a record for my channel. So smash that like button, guys. Appreciate that. Thank you so much for this. This is a good time slot. I think nobody else is streaming here, so I do appreciate that.
Wow, you're 46 too, so you're doing good.
Do you think that all of the witnesses were setting up their closing argument that JD lost roles because his drug and alcohol, hence no defamation?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's what they're trying. Disney, gave away the game early on. Like, she threatened, she's burned her career down doing this because she burned Disney. She threatened them with sanctions.
You don't burn Disney. I mean, that's
she threatened. She was like, "We want more, and we want sanctions against Disney." It was like, there goes your career, lady. But that was the game. They revealed it in there. They said that she only wanted limited document searches, and the whole thing was to prove that her statement that Disney never picked up anything related to her statement.
Don't do it. Andrew knows way better than I do. My firm has represented Disney once. It was a stupid small cafe down some stupid back alley in some podunk part of Busan, Korea, that was called the Mickey Mouse Cafe and had the black silhouette ears. And Disney sued the fuck out of this ma and pa place that was just thought calling your cafe Mickey Mouse was cool.
I was on the other side of Reedy Creek, which is part of this whole scandal in Florida right now with DeSantis disbanding the special district there. They were literally the toughest people to deal with ever. That's the Disney fake city that they've got going on that has unlimited powers. They were horrible to stand on the other side of the table of, and absolutely rude and difficult to deal with. Matt says, after a round of tug, always use Amica cream. TM. So I know a lot of people have shown this, and I think you've probably seen these videos too, Tug, but I had a makeup artist come on and they bought the thickest version of Amica cream, like the one that would give the most coverage as possible. They put it on and it's like, this literally covers nothing. And there would be no way to put anything on over it. So if you've got that, smothered on, you're not going to be dropping a bunch of makeup on top of that to hide your black eye. So that whole narrative.
All of the witnesses yesterday were testifying she does not wear that much makeup.
Oh,
she doesn't wear a lot.
Let me show you one other thing. I'm gonna have to go.
Sure.
But
no problem, brother.
I meant to show the Australian thing. So there's this guy named, he goes by Andy. He produces these breakdowns and they're glorious. Well, her whole thing in Australia is I went Despite all the stuff that happened to me, I went and I barricaded myself into the master bedroom and I went to sleep for 12 hours. You know, she's bleeding and everything else, but she just barricades herself in, sleeps for a while, and she's okay. Now, the problem with her narrative at all, you know those pictures that we've seen drawn on the mirrors? They come from the master in suite, which is attached to the master bedroom. Okay, so she goes in, she barricades herself in for 12 hours, and during the night, Johnny Depp draws on the master in suite. The only problem with that is, if you look, like, she's barricaded in, there is no access at all. So,
okay.
Unless he shimmied up the balcony or something, which you know, he would be in there with her. Again, her story, when you counter it, if you look at layouts, you look at anything, it all falls apart. I mean, heck, she would have bled to death from this stuff if she would have just locked herself in anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Look at the size of that master closet.
That's massive. That's bigger than some people's apartments. Just
be ashamed, rich people.
When it first came out, the incident 14 that they were talking about, that would be the last incident with the remote to the face.
Right. Right.
He said the Rocky Pennington, the one that supposedly came in and was calming him down like a horse whisperer. No, Johnny, no. Well, he said she was hiding in my closet. And people were like, hiding in your closet. Most people don't realize, like, what they call a closet, that's another penthouse. So,
right.
It's not like the RK video hiding in the closet.
Well, her claim doesn't make any sense either. If you listen to Rocky was boring to listen to, but what she essentially is saying is Johnny Depp was attacking Amber Heard. Amber Heard was somehow in a fetal position, had been blasted up in the face with this telephone, and she texts Rocky, "Help me, please." So Rocky comes running out. She's down the hall. Like if you watch the video, you know, with the cops coming in for their body cam video, she's one of the penthouses on the right. So she supposedly comes running out, gets to the door. It's locked. So she runs back, gets a key. That's why they kept bringing up, did you all have a master key? Because they have to have a master key in this. Runs back, unlocks the door. The only problem is, and they forgot about this in their narrative when they were putting it together, is that there are two security officers. His security team is in the hallway. So they would have had to been passed by Rocky Pennington. And that just didn't happen. You know, they would have responded. If somebody's rushing in there to do that, they would have responded.
Running by, if they see somebody rushing by, that's like literally their job. So they're going to call that one out. They're going to say, yeah, we saw somebody running by at top speed. That's going to be something that they're going to flag.
I think if you take, hey, have you seen that text messages from her and Josh Drew about bringing the knives to the conversation? Have you seen that?
The knives? Shit. Not the knives.
All right, one more. Let me. I gotta pull this.
All right.
One more.
Let me do. There was super chats here. Great to see Tug there. Hey there. Love to see Amber get smacked down after this live. Check out Andrew on Future Complex at 9 a.m. Yeah, I'm gonna be on another stream after this, guys. It's been a streaming marathon. Legal Vices is now up for 39 hours. I've been streaming all day. All of us have been like eating, sleeping, breathing this. After this, I usually do an evening show on Fridays. I'm not even doing an evening show. I'm gonna get some rest. So literally I'm sleeping. I
gotta go out to party more.
So we can do this next week. I need to recover to do this next week because this is going to be insane.
That's what I mean. I've been on the 2-hour sleep schedule, because I keep a day job in all this mess. I'm still still processing stuff. I took time off, but I still have stuff I have to do. So while I'm on stream, I'm actually doing real work too.
I do that sometimes during the video depositions. I'll be like, all right, mute the mic. All right, let me do this boring ass witness right now. Because some of those video depositions are literally mind-numbing. Remember who started the satanic panic BS? Wife of Mr. Green, Tipper Gore. That's very true. It's very true. Yep. Daydream. To be honest, I just saw Adam's tweets. So when I heard his testimony, I was surprised by how he sounded, since I thought he would have been aggressive. Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's not a dick. And he was responding, I think, to what generally, both in terms of the attitudes that have been thrown out towards him and towards his client, Mr. Depp. Which is a complete lack of respect. I mean, you're seeing all of these freeloaders, all of these leeches, how much love and respect they treated Johnny Depp with. Lulu says, can Johnny's team call Jennifer Howell? Yes, they can call her, and that would be a damn good move. Did Amber say, of course they're going to side with them for Johnny Depp for Johnny Depp's witness on her cross. How can we trust Amber Heard's sister and witnesses after the statement? Well, we can't. That's the point. Their stories have been inconsistent. And also remember, her sister admitted to using drugs, specifically cocaine, during this period. In fact, the I was hardly ever sober was or barely sober. Yeah. That's not
Johnny's
a good
great
indicia
as
of
long as he's buying her
reliability.
coke.
Yeah, Hal already did a deposition. Yeah, but she's gonna need to testify to get that into evidence. All right, Tug.
I spent way too much time in this crap. When I'm like, yeah, I know where that's at. I'm gonna go to Josh Drew's deposition to I was like, oh my God, man.
You've got a system. You've got a system.
Yeah, I'm like I said,
I could listen to you talk forever, Tug. This is awesome.
I feel very OCD though, but I like it. This is actually, it works for me. It's
fun, man.
So,
it's fun.
I think all lawyers are borderline OCD anyway, so this is like feeding our illnesses.
Yeah, I love it. I love deep dives. I mean, I love this, and this has been we get to watch it come out while it was happening for years. So I mean, it's been fun to do like that. But this is Josh Drew. This is part of his witness statement. Now you got to think about the background to this. You know, she's telling these people throughout all of this that she's being abused. You know, he's doing terrible things behind the scenes. So to eliminate any of this is just a ha-ha joke. All right. So they have a conversation talking about, you know, coming over Johnny Depp and stuff. And then he gets to this point and says, I'll bring them. Now, them is, you know, a familiar word. So they've had this conversation before, you can tell, you know, because obviously she knows what them is. And she says, haha, you know, good man, haha, so pretty. Oh, no, that'd be far too easy. You know, again, referring to them. And I think the way the timestamps come in, I actually think that this is probably part of that chain and just got interrupted because she responds to the file that comes through here. So that'd be far too easy. Well, I guess I could reconsider. I think she's, you know, you're like, okay, so the picture comes in and there's also a little part that gets cut off and says, I have a giant new knife you could borrow if you'd like. And the picture that comes through are these. So they're talking about bringing knives to the conversation. Now,
wait, got it. Above that, it said, no, you don't use it. You just show it to him.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't.
Good Lord. Yeah. Okay, Amber, you don't use it. You just show it to him. Damn.
There again with them, they've already had this conversation before. You know, with the background to it. Again, you know, if I were talking about bringing knives to this conversation, it would be like, haha, that's some kind of weird joke. But
right.
I'm not saying, you know, behind the scenes, this person's been beating the shit out of me, and you know, he may murder me. I find it interesting that Johnny Depp finds out that he's in a meeting with Ed White, his personal financier. He finds out he's $650 million light, plus he is down $100 million for tax liability. That happens April 21st. That's right on her birthday. 1 month later, they never saw each other until 1 month later. Bam, the marriage is over. I find
what a coinky dink. What a coinky dink.
Before I really wonder. Again, this is just me making a
speculating to the wind between you, me, and the wall. You, me, the wall, and 20 people.
Exactly. Not talking to anybody, just talking to friends.
Just talking to everybody we know.
I do wonder though. I very much wonder. I feel like when reading this and other stuff, it feels like one of those Lifetime movies where you talk a sucker, and Josh Drew is definitely a sucker. You talk him into going and doing something horrible for you, so you inherit the windfall of $650 million.
Wow.
He's the goon, right? The goon used the dumb goon.
I mean, that's what it sounds like.
Follow the money.
Have you seen his picture at the time? Like he looks a little calmer, but if you look at he
looks like a discount Nick Offerman or like a budget Khal Drogo. Like,
he's my Khal Drogo man.
Yeah, like
he shops at the Baby Gap though. Like he has his tiniest shirt ever. So he's part of the police footage that came out. Yeah, I mean, he's got it's almost embarrassing. Like, you know, I'm not in the best shape now either. I put on some COVID fat.
You've been covering this 24/7. I mean, what time else do you have to get out there and get active? I think when the trial's over, you might have some time to work on that.
Check this out, though. Here's him though at that time. Look at that very flattering shirt.
Oh my Lord.
I'm like, man, I'm seeing as much nipple on him as Amber.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
This is like a good Sasquatch picture here. This big,
really
blurry, massive shape walking through the trees.
So many things went down in this elevator. Like this elevator, is he
wearing
a shirt? So many things went down.
Why did they put slow? Here's the question. Like, you can tell this video is slow. Like it's, you know, look at how slow he's moving.
Right.
So you can tell it's been slowed down. I wonder why they moved it in. Actually, here's a one thing. I like I said, I got to go, but I want to throw this in here too. Everyone assumes.
Appreciate it, brother.
You know those 2 wine spillage pictures that they used as evidence. That the metadata stamp on them is 904. Now, as it is, 904 would be impossible because Josh Drew is the person who supposedly takes the pictures, right? So if you look, he exits the elevator at 9:02:22. So he would have around a minute to take that picture, right?
Right.
He goes and he meets with Amber Heard instead. He doesn't take any pictures, and then the cops, they roll in right behind. Here's the cops rolling in. They're rolling in 1 minute
there.
behind.
That's barely behind. Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, though, there's another part, and they don't bring it up because it'd probably be hard to describe. If you look at the other clocks in the building, actually the time doesn't fit up. So you see, like here, this is 10. You have 20:58, right? Okay. Well, when they get in the elevator, again, this is like right when they're going to get in. They just cleared. They're pushing a button right now. I got to skip past that. But wait. Give me 1 second. I got to get right when they come in. You notice the time, it jumps when they get into the elevator. Like it jumps 6 minutes. So if you go by that and you assume all of the other clocks in the building, they all are uniform within 40 seconds of each other, but the elevator clock is off and everybody times everything by the elevator. Well, if that clock is actually off 6 minutes from the rest of the world, the metadata on those pictures at 9:04, that would actually mean the cops would have been standing in the hallway right on top of those pictures while they were being taken. Because, there's all kinds of weird metadata discrepancies like that too.
That's crazy. I mean, but that's the thing is that the whole metadata is clearly something that's not reliable because we've already seen that something been excluded in the court. And the fact that the court went out and said, yeah, you're going to need to redact that. That's a good indicia of its reliability.
So they talk about the incident where she says she had her hair pulled out and all that crap.
Right.
There's the pictures from that anyway. I don't know why you would allow those in because all of the pictures, if you look at the metadata for them, none of the pictures were actually listing as taken on the 15th, like Rocky Pennington says. They actually list that they were taken on the 16th, the 17th, and the 18th. And the picture that comes up on the 18th is very obviously not from. Let's see. Like I said, I've been doing this way.
It's not. Yeah, it's not. It's obviously not from the same camera. By the way, someone's asking, has anyone found the video of Depp when his lawyer said Amber Turd? I want to see his face laughing his ass off, and I imagine trying not to. You know, there are cameras in the courtroom, but some of us are focused on the wrong thing. But I would love to see that too. That would make me so happy.
My favorite thing from yesterday was when Ellen Barkin was referred to as Mr. Barkin. Yeah. That was epic.
There's
Nick and I both looked at each other.
Oh, here you go. Okay, you got
it. So this is the metadata from it. Okay, remember, Rocky Pennington told us on the stand that this is by that guy Andy too. He does great deep dives. But she says, and she stuck with it, I took all the photos on the 15th. If you look at the exhibit and the exhibit metadata, they come from the 16th, they come from the 17th, and one on the 18th. All right. So none of them come from the 15th according to their metadata. Now, even better. Give me a second. I'm just doing this fast. Okay. Even better, when you start looking at the pictures, these are the 16th pictures. Okay. And this is the 18th picture. If you look at the 18th picture and the 16th picture, they're the same picture. They're just, one is portrait, one is landscape, but they're the same setup. So it looks like somebody was going in and they meant to, put them in as this happened on the 16th, 16th, and it looks like somebody may have coded their metadata a little wrong when they were fudging up their metadata.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this stuff. Like I said, there's so much. Again, that didn't make it into the court. They did have a big hoopla over metadata, and we don't know what the actual decision was, but his experts didn't get to tear through the metadata like they were supposed to. There was a decision on the November the 1st, 2021, where November the 8th, rather, that the judge said you've got to turn over everything by the November the 30th. Well, he put in a complaint because he was saying the court-appointed arbiter wasn't doing anything about stuff not being turned over, and it was close to March. I don't know why they didn't put anything before. Maybe they were talking to the arbiter. He was saying, "I'll get it done," whatever. But they complained. They said we don't have time to go through all the stuff. We can't actually go through it all. So
before the case. Yeah, no, I see that. Like usually it's not. There's usually pretty limited time, but that would make sense. That's a good theory.
Anyway,
Tug, thank you so much, bro. I know you got to balance.
I know I talk forever too, man.
No. I appreciate it. No, I feel bad for
forever.
keeping you, brother. I mean, seriously, I love it. Takedown asks, what is the cost of living in the ROK? I was there in 2007. Dude, it's much cheaper. The conversion rate right now is great. The won is pretty weak to the dollar, which makes it good. High from Malaysia.
Okay, dollar-based guy. You talk about how awesome it is.
Okay,
now.
Yeah, it's great. Australia time zone here. I'm predicting 7 million settlement for JD giving him his divorce money. See, I actually said, Tug, so I'm interested in your prediction. So I think it's between 10 and 20 million. That's my call. If let's say, presuming there's a judgment in Johnny's favor, what do you think the damages are?
Just looking at the way cases go, I would have said around 10 to, I was thinking 10 to 15. So, 10 to 20 sounds about right.
Yeah. I mean, I think that 20 is the high end, is the real high end. That's a huge settlement. That'd be a huge settlement. That'd be egregious. I think it's not going to go all the way up to 50. Horowitz says, nope, Johnny's former financial managers ran off with 650 million. Let the church say, hey there. Catherine says, when JD wins, Camille needs to give Amber a bottle of $2 Chuck as an enjoy your new life gift. That would be gold. Nice. Brittany says, I love what you guys are doing. Can you explain to me quickly any new evidence can be introduced to court? And do you think when they meet with the judge today, they will throw in the towel? I don't think they're gonna quit, but I do think there's gonna be some motions that are going hard against Amber's team. I think it's possible, like I said, the counterclaims get thrown out, could be getting thrown out as we speak right now today. We went over all three of the claims. Once again, two of them are completely thrown out already, and even the one, count number 2, partially that was thrown out. Only the statements against Waldman are remaining, and we've seen no evidence presented from Amber that those statements are true or those statements could lead to her defamation case being credible. Therefore, and because there's not really any other witnesses that can provide that testimony, the counterclaims are getting thrown out. I mean, we saw that this week. I don't think there's anything they can do to stop them from getting thrown out at this point.
Poor Amber. She just wanted to defraud somebody and destroy their life. I mean, what happened? Can a girl get a little justice? Right.
Come on. You know what? I get Tug a lot too. I get a lot. Oh, well, you be fair and be balanced. You got to be this and that. And maybe some other people can do that, some other channels, whatever. But I'm on the side of the truth. And the truth is sometimes has a bias. So
5 years ago, I was pro Amber.
5 years ago.
Yeah. Well, when all this first started coming out. Yeah.
Because you didn't know any better.
Yeah. Well, it was my prejudice. He's got drug problems. He's got alcohol problems. He's got that. I'm like Johnny Depp. I'm a mysterious guy. I could see him hauling off and whacking on a woman, just from the prejudicial point of view.
But now that you've seen the evidence, what?
And I know we've talked about this a few times. Is the fact that since all of this started happening in 2012, 10 years ago, all the way through this, not a single woman has come forward and said, nobody bandwagoned the Me Too.
It's not a Cosby situation. It's not a Cosby situation where you've got
they hired one of those Hollywood fixers. He came out and did an expose on it. He said 100, 200. I can't remember the exact number. It's an insane amount of number. And he came back and he told Amber Heard's team that I can go at this a different way. I can go after the friend group because some of them have been assholes to Amber Heard, but I can't find anything to back up what you do because nobody has a bad thing to say.
Well, Ellen Barkin was supposed to be the star witness for this phase, and the takeaway from her testimony, other than being called Mr. Barkin at one point, that was my third favorite part of the whole trial. But her testimony boiled down to, well, he kind of tossed a bottle in the general direction of a group of people and didn't hit anybody.
We're talking like an underhand, like catch this water bottle. I mean,
that was him going, fuck it, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Ellen Barkin has also been involved in almost every high profile Hollywood Me Too case there is. If you look her up, you'll find her involved in everything from Harvey Weinstein on. She has a story with everyone. So.
Weird how she has a story with everybody. It's so weird. It's almost like she's an expert witness in Me Too at this point.
Yeah. Right? I mean, it is thought. That is funny. Can I become an expert in hashtag
Yeah.
Me Too? That'd be awesome.
That'd be good. They qualify as like the counter expert. Like there's for the pro Me Too, there's them, and then Tug gets qualified as the anti Me Too Me Too witness. That'd be good. Amica gel doesn't cover it. It heals swelling, inflammation, and draws up bruising. I keep it in a first aid kit, makes bruises worse before better. Yeah, that's the thing, Matt, is that the story doesn't line up with the facts. Okay, let's say it does.
You guys are monsters.
I'm
gonna. I can't even believe you guys. Amica cream, it fixes everything. It fixes everything. I'm gonna you give me a minute. I'm gonna pull up some proof testimonies of it. It'll just take
you pull up your Amica cream right now. You get your creams out. You get your cream out, Tug. Meanwhile, Beaver Unit says, how the heck did lawyers keep a straight face saying Amber Turd? And Tug, you are the world's umbrella god. This shitstorm can't get any better.
I love how
Andrew, I love you that you said get your cream out while you look at my Beaver's unit.
Only on the legal mindset, guys. We have fun on this channel.
I'm
guys.
clipping that. That's going up on my Twitter.
How can a house have 20 bedrooms, each one beginning with a master, and there's no master bait? Daniel Chapman, I love it. All right. Hashtag Amica Turd. That's a good one. Abel says, Tug, don't you know that Amber is the protagonist of an RPG? One night of sleep and all your HP is restored. Greetings from Germany. Hey, Vigets, Abel, how you doing?
I appreciate it. Yep. She sounds like it, doesn't she? She actually does.
Yeah. She's the hero of her story. She is the hero. And everybody else
I liked was it legal bite still when they had the woman, I can't even remember who the hell she was. Was she the agent with a really bad virtual background?
Oh yeah, the NPC.
Yeah, now I love that comment. It's like now NPCs are allowed to testify at trial.
Yeah, that's so good. That was so good. Stephanie says, not sure you know anything about body language and live spotting. I do. Do you find the fact that she fake cried and pepper destroyed with the relevant details will be lost on the jury? No, it's not lost on the jury. And I think it comes off as odd. Even if they're not experts on body language, humans are good at picking up on subconscious cues. If you study body language, it sort of connects your rational brain with what you're feeling and what you're experiencing. Human beings actually are pretty damn good, especially ladies out there. Shout out to the ladies, are very good at spotting subconscious facial cues and body gestures and ways people look. And sometimes you can't tell why somebody's lying. You don't know why, but you know they're lying, but you can't say why. You can't say it's not something they said. It's the way they look. We all know that. And that's what you got from Amber Heard.
And I love the article that came out yesterday or the day before where her acting coach said she has serious troubles with fake crying.
Yes.
I think we saw that.
Yeah.
I'm about to shame you for what you said, though.
You are going to Amica cream all over us. Okay, show us that.
All right. So look, these are real life testimonies. So this guy here, right? This is just an example, Obviously, little injury, nothing big, but you know what? There was a cream for that, or really bad burn.
Oh,
yeah. You get a little burn on your face there. Boom. There's a cream for that.
You gotta step up.
Got a face like this. There's there's not.
No, you need some holy water and an exorcist. That's what you need for that one.
Oh, man, I had a lot of fun with the Amica cream.
Oh man, the Amica cream is so great. I love your emojis, man. You got some great ones. It's fucking great.
That's awesome.
I hate to think this, but if Amber is abusive, if I were for Dottie, man, honestly, the fact that I know she has a daughter, that's just
you can't save everybody.
Well, it's not just that. Okay, so the original here's what. With everybody covering, there's so much press on it. People don't realize this trial was delayed for a year. So if you look at when the kid via surrogate, the surrogacy was planned just weeks before the original trial. Very interesting. It looked like the ultimate, trump card. Hey, I'm a mother, which she's played a lot there. And then the trial got delayed. So she's like, oh shit, I got to carry this kid for a year. What's up?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. They don't realize it's like, okay, this is a real commitment now. You really got to do something, Amber. No, we're not.
Doug, if you are not a police officer, a private investigator, or a lawyer, you should be. Your analysis and deep dives are fucking off the hook.
Very good.
You know what though? I've dealt with in mental, the reason I got into this kind of stuff, I got into the first case I looked at was the Vic Mignogna case, and it's because I work with.
We all love anime.
I work with victims
as opposed
of,
to the Waldman case.
exactly. I work with child victims for the longest time, and I started out working with offenders too. Until I have this problem about they have to be monitored. If they're not monitored, then you have a recidivism rate of about 80% in the first year without monitoring. If somebody monitors, it drops to about 20%. Still a high recidivism rate, but after a while, you want to punch them in the face, and I just couldn't do that. Yeah. But I worked with child victims, and we take unlike like Dr. Hughes, who takes $500 a freaking visit. We take Medicare and Medicaid. We work with the poorest people. So I'll see people. You should, like, if you've been abused, you should see somebody that has an expert focus on that. Right. Honestly, if you're working off Medicaid, you can't afford that. So I'll get clients that they've been through horrible stuff, and those words that are attached to them, sexual assault, rapist, those mean something, and they have to mean something, and that got me interested. Like I said, I worked with child victims and child offenders, and you get to where you can just see it on somebody, you can tell like stuff about them. And I wanted to look and see about Vic Mignogna, so I did a deep dive there. I went to a convention, and I found that guy was framed. Like, it was just terrible. And then from there, I don't know, I got a taste for it. I was like, man, there's a lot of this. While I was covering,
it's injustice. I mean, you're out there, helping correct these injustices that have been done to people, right? In both cases, whether it's with the kids and with in this case the cases.
Well, the thing that scared me was, with the Vic Mignogna thing, for example, they created a document. There was a hit document that they were going to go after certain people, and they ended up getting rid of it after it got so much. But they had 83 names that they had put on there already, that they had started out with 83 other people they were going to destroy their lives when they just kept adding. And at that time, I was trying to track how many claims would come out of Hollywood, and at that time I had an average of 2 claims a day that were coming out of Hollywood. So I mean, it's insane. And people are like, hey, you just need to listen and you need to believe. Hell no.
This is the Salem witch trials 500, 600 years later.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm getting out of here. I got a live stream.
All right. Hey, Tug, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming to my channel. It's the first time on my channel, so thank you so much. Hope we can have another conversation, because I love talking with you, man. You're a really great guy.
Yeah, for sure, man. We'll talk sometime.
All right. Peace.
It was a pleasure.
Good to see you, brother. Too, Legal Biases.
All right, man. Oh, thank you so much for them. So let's get these super chats, guys. Let's run through them. To be fair, the Umbridge lawyer could say the Rolling Stones article saying it as the possessive reflection. I still think she is shit. Yeah, she's complete shit. I mean, she definitely was stuttering on that one, but she's complete garbage. I mean, absolutely 100%. I mean, I make no excuses for Elaine. Elaine is not a good trial lawyer, and even the website for her firm states that her expertise is in negotiation and settlement, not going to trial.
But you're the corporate lawyer. Why don't you want to go to trial?
Because it costs people money, and it's a waste of resources. It's a huge waste of resources. As an attorney, I represented Universal Studios. I represented a lot of other large corporations that some I won't name, right? But we did not want to go to trial. We wanted to settle. It was better. It was better for PR. It was better for everybody. In Amber's case, her PR would have been better if she didn't go to trial. Yeah. I guarantee you, Johnny wouldn't let her settle in this case.
And on contingency fee, you get your 33%, whether it takes you an hour to settle or 10 years to litigate.
Right. Johnny Depp wins, gets $7 million, uses it to shoot the ashes of Amber's career out of a cannon, Hunter S. Thompson style. Oh man, that's absolutely fantastic. That would be hilarious.
Or snort him Rolling Stones Keith Richards style.
That would be great. That would be
snort your dad's ashes.
IFID came up with a new nickname for Jeff. If you like it, Jeff, I accept payment in pledges only. Dr. Labotnik.
No, yeah,
you're welcome. Hey, Andrew and Tug, what's up? Yeah, it was awesome having Tug on. I've been on streams with Tug, but never had him on my channel. So it's good to know he's up early. I guess we'll try to be up early and maybe, beat people in and have on some cool guests, when people aren't awake in the morning, this odd time.
And if you go to my channel, that was the first time I came on Andrew's channel. They labeled me Dr. Robotnik. So I that's like my intro to my videos is the original Sonic the Hedgehog Dr. Robotnik boss theme song. So it's already there.
Yeah. Do the hours left include closing statements? No, they do not include closing.
Yeah.
No, they do not. They do not include closing statements.
You're correct.
However, they get equal time for that.
It includes cross-examination, but not
yes, but not closing statements.
Yeah.
Sarah says Tug has to write a book. Oh, I'm sure he will, and he's got more to do on this for sure. Will we see Mommy Dearest 2 in 18 years' time? It's possible.
Get the coat hanger.
It's possible. Did Amber's talent agent really say that Aquaman was the greatest movie ever? GTFO, first time donating, never stop, guys. Guys, can't stop, won't stop. Yeah, I think they misspoke on that. I think what they meant to say was like it was the biggest in the DC extended universe.
Yeah.
But
she said it was the highest grossing film of all time, but
that's not true. It's Gone with the Wind if you adjust for inflation. And it's, I believe, at this point,
Ten Commandments is a huge one too.
Yeah, Ten Commandments is still up there, but like a lot, Titanic is still up there, right? Avatar's number one of all time, I think, still. Secret said she's not necessarily wrong about iceberg bruises. Cut men carry no swells for a reason. It works. It's not magic, but makes a difference. Okay.
Icing does not make your broken nose a perfect I've just had surgery and Botox injection clean.
Yeah, Ellen Barkin just wanted one last time in front of the camera. People forget about her. She brought nothing to this. She just wanted everybody to know she used to have booty calls with Johnny. That's disgusting, but it might be true. Because at a certain point, they want attention, right? And you're going to get attention. However, you can get attention, even if it's in a bad way. So I have seen that. Stephanie said, the one that floored me was the pic of the 4 lines of Coke she came up with and went into this diatribe and lost her drink in Paris. And I was like, what the fuck? Her dissing language. She says, maybe that's cut off. But yeah, the 4 lines of Coke is completely a staged photo. It was clearly staged. If you would never leave Coke out like that, that's just something that doesn't happen. Don't ask me how I know, but that would not happen ever, period. Theo says, I expect Amber Heard to time out, then complain to media. Oh, they're going to complain to media. They're going to flip this as the judge was unfair. I guarantee if there was a male judge, they would say it's misogyny. They would say the system is against us, which, by the way, is part of the narrative. That's part of the narrative that was out there and that was in the article, right? I'm so effing sick of Elaine's dumb accent. Johnny Depp, Velasquez, Rolling Stone, not Stones. Yeah. It's bad. It's annoying. It's definitely annoying for sure, guys. For sure.
She is 70 years old.
I will be on Flashcast this Saturday. So if you guys want to see me on Saturday, I will definitely be coming on Flashcast for show.
Multi-platforming.
Jeff said, Andrew, I tweeted you a video of the Kiffness. It's a sea shanty making fun of Tim Richard. Okay, I will play that my next video next week. First thing, I promise you. That will be the first
you're gonna make me miss it
for sure. Colonel Kurt said, suspected Amber Heard possibly mimicking Elizabeth Holmes, who also seemed to time a baby before trial, fake voice emotions. Yeah, here's the thing. I think she's mimicking the plot of various books and movies. I really do.
But like staging to have a baby before your trial, maybe taking conspiracy one step too far. But
you could
it's
do
Amber,
it.
So
it's not impossible.
Know.
It's not impossible, guys.
And that's the crazy fucking thing.
I'm not.
If you would have said this about anybody else, you would have said you're up. You're batshit crazy. Yeah. But if you're saying about Amber Heard, you're like, well, you can't totally rule it out.
Yep. Stephanie said, does anyone realize that Marilyn Manson is a persona? He was a teenager on Mr. Belvedere TV show. Yeah, I know it's a persona, but he wears that persona often, right? He doesn't go in his non-Marilyn Manson persona.
Well, it was like Alice Cooper. I mean, he totally talks about, I mean, he's a Sunday school teacher. He's a devout, born-again Christian Sunday school teacher. And he talks about how Alice Cooper is different than his own life. But as you said, Marilyn, he wears his persona and he revels in it.
And owns that persona. Daniel says, Amber's agent is Uncle Rico if she thinks that was the greatest film of all time. Like 100%. That was not the greatest of all time. Not even close. All right. Andrew says, would be a good strategy for the JD team to make Amber Heard time out, then hit him with clonking witnesses, crosses, which go unchallenged. Yeah. I don't. Well, what do you think the good, Jeff? Go into a good strategy for redirect. What do you think? Give them a good pitch for redirect here.
Well, I would use the 10 hours I have to and I would backload it to where you end with just 8 to 10 hours of going through every assertion saying this never happened. There's no evidence to support this. There's no evidence to support this. There's no evidence. Here's the person that's going to testify. There's no evidence to this. And just walk through every single allegation she's ever made and then just end it with a bombshell that she has made up absolutely everything you've seen up to this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
The lack of evidence and lack of the Me Too bandwagoners speaks enormous volumes. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they can just run that timeout. I think they can just run that timeout on. You started on Jennifer Howell, and maybe even I think someone brought up Isaac Baruch. I think you bring him as a witness. Run the clock on those because they talk a lot. They're gonna have to waste time on them. Maybe pull into Johnny Depp and then end on Mommy Muffins. Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said at the beginning,
Craig.
just have her dismantle her
with no
mental
time
situation.
to rebut. With no time to rebut. So their clock is gone.
And it's the time to take off the gloves and just go for it.
Because they can do whatever they want. They can say whatever they want. And they have no ability to counter them. What are the odds you get for Johnny Depp win at the moment? I'm at 95%.
I'm 75 still.
But I'm
from legally 100%. He has won the public opinion.
Public opinion. Yeah. Nobody's disputing that. Nobody's disputing the public opinion. Everybody who's sane it says he's won the public opinion. The case, I'm at 95, he's at 75, but I think we're around the same if there's a verdict. Amber Heard is the mimic, copies look of prey. Yes. Yes, that's
I agree.
True. That's very true. I'm surprised no one mentioned that JD and Marilyn Manson did a cover of You're So Vain back in 2012. Did it make sense Johnny Depp would make fun of that? Yeah.
That whole I don't know Carly Simon and that song is bullshit. My 21-year-old son knows who Carly Simon is and knows the song You're So Vain.
Yeah. So that's why
bullshit.
I'm not buying that. I think that's bullshit. Like,
and
frankly,
that's her handwriting. So fuck off, Amber. Sorry,
yeah, I think that's bullshit. All right. Stephanie says, actually, is it possible Amber Heard saved some of that 8 hours to get in the last word? That would be insane. To bring Amber back on would be actual suicide. Would be like legal suicide. I mean, I'm sure that they would rule again. They would talk against it, put up against it for sure. 100%.
Not a chance.
Yeah,
I mean, if you look at it, comes out to about an hour and 45 minutes a day for the next 5 days, well, 4 days of trial, I guess. Mm-hmm. So let's say 2 hours of trial for the next 4 days. Right. You've got to use that wisely. You can't fuck around with things when you're down that far, because like we said, Depp can take an hour plus the morning up to the morning break of the second day without allowing them to say a single word. I've got the vocal fry going. I should be an Amber Heard witness.
Can or should JD's team bring Amber Heard back in rebuttal? Same question, same asked and answered. Definitely, that's the answer. No. Alice Cooper rules. Yeah, I know. Got
my
some
hero.
Alice Cooper stands in the house a little bit. I'll just say a little bit before my generation. At this point, is it a better strategy? Is it a better strategy for Amber Heard to screen Pirates of the Caribbean 4 in court and make the case that they saved Mr. Depp?
Do it. Seriously, fucking do it. I mean, this is like a total like ADHD
sidebar,
way off the reservation thing. When I was in high school, it was the time for all of the military recruiters to come in, and I assume you took the ASVAB military test.
No, we did not require to take that. But
we were required.
Not required to take it though.
Yeah, we were required to take. You took the ASVAB test, which is like your competency for joining the military test. So we took the test, and then like the week later, the recruiters started showing up. The army dudes show up in their khakis, like, yeah, you know. And the Marines show up in their dress blues. They get the biggest, toughest, brawniest guys. The Navy drove in this flatbed trailer truck with the side. They parked it at the far end of the student parking. The side flips up, and there's like this huge movie screen. And they just screened Top Gun, which had just come out. It was still and that was their recruiting. They just flipped it up, screened Top Gun, and they recruited the fuck out of our high school.
Yeah, that'll do it right there, guys. That'll do it right there.
Screen Pirates of the Caribbean, and the jury will be all over it.
For the last 10 hours, I replayed a 6-minute clip of Amber cackling and taunting Depp again and again.
You're going to hell for that.
I mean, that would be torture. That would be torture. That would be cruel and unusual punishment. We don't do that in America. We have rules. We have laws to prevent things like that from happening. I think
that's against the Geneva
Horrible
Convention.
Things from happening. Elena says $14.99. Thank you so much. let's get here. I meant more her lawyers not recalling Amber Heard. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. It's definitely possible. People are overlooking the fact that Depp's team had 1.5 days of trial time that cannot be rebutted in any form by Amber. Yes.
Yeah.
Amber Heard better bring KY next week. No, here's the thing. I say it this week in all my videos. I've said this. Amber Heard's own testimony was the worst thing that happened this week for Amber Heard. By and far.
No
Without
question.
a doubt. There's no question. The most damning person to Amber Heard was Amber Heard.
And that's how you use your time. You let them call these fucking ridiculous witnesses that they called yesterday. You wait till they burn out their time. You spend the remainder of the trial time walking them down whatever primrose path you concoct.
Exactly. KO says, Hunter S. Thompson's spirit probably saved Johnny Depp because if you want to know the truth, just survive and wait. It's very true. Very true.
Yeah.
Can what happened to Amber for lying under oath? Well, okay. So technically, we've talked about this a lot in other streams. Technically, she's committing perjury, right? But that is almost never pursued. You almost never pursue a witness on the stand for perjury. It's a bad look.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah. Forget you're so vain. The more the two of you sway with those headphones on, it looks increasingly like teardrops by Womack and Womack. I like it. I like it. Are they able to point out the inconsistencies between Stair's story between Amber and Whitney in closing? Yes. Like reiterate the 2 ways it was told. I wanted to reiterate the 5 ways it was told, all the different people and their different stories. You heard one version from Amber, one version from Whitney, one version from the other witnesses, one version from the reports, all these different versions of that same story. And Amber is asking you to believe hers. She's asking you to believe that everybody else is lying and hers is true. Because only in the case where Amber Heard's story is true can Amber Heard prevail.
Sure.
ASMR says, talented Mr. Ripley. The movie was about a quick study who learned about jazz to assimilate into someone's privileged life. Study poetry, Amber? Yeah, she used some lines from that, or at least she mirrored lines from that movie. Very, very, very scary. Mango Painter says, I've noticed channels that have their live streams backed up on Rumble get messed with less. YouTube can't silence them. YouTube loses super chat money, and it makes people more comfortable with Rumble. So I have my stuff backed up on Odyssey. I do have a Rumble channel, but I need to make sure it's synced up and get everything backed up. But I do have Odyssey as a backup. So I do have a backup. I do have an alt-tech backup. I actually, honestly, knock on table here, I have really not been messed with. I've only had one during Corona. I had one removed, and I got a strike for that. And then I had another couple.
Was it a Corona-based thing?
It was Corona. I'm not talking about it again, but because of the strike. Yeah. But it's like, what is it fun? And get struck again. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that, Jeff. But yeah, other than that, I've actually been pretty good on this. Soul Music says, if Johnny Depp is right-handed, how come Amber Heard? How come Amber Heard? Oh, there you go. Alleged injuries are always in the right side of her face. That's a very good question. Nobody's brought that up. They could bring that up on redirect. It's a good point. Toxic Apple Core says, I love that name. If she has PPD, her daughter could be taken away from her because she could be seen as a danger. It's possible, but I don't think it's going to be likely, but it's possible. It is possible. TC Barnett says, you should do a live review of the Pro Heard subreddit. Oh my God. Read D-Mail and the entire place is anti-Johnny delusional. Love the content. Love you guys. Yeah, sure. You know what? That's good content. I will check that out. I will see if we can do that, especially maybe before a trial day, like a pre-trial day. We start early, like this time, 6:00 in the morning, something like that, Eastern time, which is wherever it is in the world. Afternoons from here, we can start early and do that.
Burn through your super chats. The dogs are demanding to be fed.
Yeah. Knock it out. All right. Ashley says, question for you both. In your opinion, just as he leaves, Ashley. In your opinion, which evidence or witnesses would Johnny Depp's team best use to counter Amber Heard's claim? Like I'm talking, no way to argue out of it. Like I said, for rebuttal, Howell, because that rebuts Whitney completely. There's no way to wiggle out of that if Howell's able to get it out. I think Isaac Brook, very reliable, very funny. Even Amber's laughing at her, so super reliable. Johnny and Dr. Curry, Dr. Mommy Muffins. Dr. Curry is unrefutable. I think you bring her out at the end, she cannot be stopped. She could destroy them. Team JD will do a 10-hour in memorandum of Everett's case. Yes, that'd be awesome. From a legal standpoint, is there any really legit or seems legit evidence to support? No, we debunked that. Tanya, all those claims are getting thrown out. I expect they're meeting with the judge today. I expect today the counterclaims, or Monday maybe. If they rest on Monday, it might be Monday, right? But I expect the counterclaims to be thrown out either today or next week. We're going to hear about it. It's going to happen. There's no way that they're able to keep the standard of evidence for those claims. Della says, Kathleen Zellner, pro hoc for JD, think she'll appear? Maybe. It's possible, although I think they're going to try to keep the time tight and use really, really, really strong witnesses. I don't know whether that's the strongest witness for them at this point, but it's possible. Sorry, never mind. I forgot that the closing it includes the time. Yeah. So the time right now, that the timer clock is based on the rest of the cases in chief. It doesn't include the closing. Hell yeah. Go Navy, beat Army. Nothing beats the Westpac deployment in your 20s. Pattaya Beach. Very nice, my friend.
Yeah.
Lynn says, been meaning to post this on a legal form. Do you think the witness brought forth by the Amber Heard team were actually done to discredit her because she killed it with her own testimony? There's some tin foil out there. I've read some tin foil, like Elaine and the team are like mad at Amber, so they're sabotaging her with this. But actually, I think more of a real theory here is that Amber Heard is demanding that certain witnesses be put on, and she's not realizing how bad they are for her, but she's demanding that they go with them even though they're bad. That's my theory. I don't know what you think, Jeff.
I don't think it's as tinfoil as you think it is, because it goes back to where she kept saying, I gave all of these pictures and medical reports to my lawyers, but they didn't release them to you. And I want to release them, but I'm not in charge of it. It's my lawyer's decision not to release them to you. Right. That says the lawyers are violating the discovery rules. And I can see them going, all right, we'll just let you do it. Whoever the fuck you want to put on the stand.
You're calling the lawyers unethical. Amber Heard saying that I've turned over everything and insinuating that they don't have it because the lawyers didn't turn it over.
That will get you fucking disbarred in a fucking heartbeat.
In a drop of a pin, you'll be disbarred for not turning over discovery in a major trial like this. This is ridiculous. That would never happen.
I can see them just throwing her to the wolves, especially, you know, if there was that the big blowout you were talking about the other day, which, I mean, it seems to be the case, given by their little huggy, smiley thing, theatrical bullshit they did the next morning. Yep. I don't think that's as tinfoily hat as you think it is.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Kesa says she mimics characters from various shows and movies. Then, because that's my name, that's all I have left. Part was taken straight out of Molly's Game. Oh yeah. By the way, shout out over there in Japan. You know, from over here across the bay in Korea. But yeah, she's been taking lines and bits from different movies. The whole bottle thing out of Gone Girl. I mean, it's too on the nose. I
haven't seen that movie yet. But
you know what?
Judging by the comments I've seen,
Jeff,
really
you should watch it. You should watch it just to see where she got the bottle. And then when you see the bottle part, you're going to be like, oh, that's bad. Lordy says, Amber Heard prepped her witness with your choose your own adventure testimony. So true. I was so surprised that you guys, Tug, brought up Vic Mignogna. It is so sad what they did to him. I miss him in the anime dubs and the same without him. Yeah, I agree. I'm growing up. I was like a big anime fan when I was younger. And Vic was really big as part of that. They did him dirty. They really did him dirty.
I've got a question for you when you're done with this comment. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let's go through all the super chat stuff, man. Yeah. Sorry for your typo. Problem is Amber Heard is dangerous insofar as she hurts real victims of abuse. This is the saddest thing that I see is people reaching out to me and people saying to me that hey, I'm a real abuse victim. I've experienced domestic abuse. Here's my abuse. Here's me. And people have sent me in my DMs pictures of them being hit in the eye and saying, here's what it really looks like. And frankly, that hurts me to look at. It's really painful because I know these are real victims, not Amber Heard. Amber's testimony strongly demonstrates she has histrionic personality disorder. To me, much more than BPD, even though she may have both. Yes, you can have both. And I believe Dr. Curry diagnosed her with both. Jacob says, the biggest time saver for Depp was the Heard cross. Direct was about 2 days and cross about a day. Yes. And Camille did exactly. Camille did a textbook cross. When in cross, you want to go boom, boom, boom. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. So many trials, they mess up. They leave it open-ended. They let them wander. No. And Camille was unflappable. Camille, even when she didn't get the right answer, what answer she wanted, she would just keep going and going and going. She did not stop. Contrast Camille with Elaine. Whenever Elaine gets an objection, this is Elaine. Your Honor, I said, what if any? That fixes all the problems.
We're okay with that.
No. Enraged Bacon says, if Jennifer Howell is called, wouldn't all of her testimony about Whitney be hearsay? So Enraged Bacon, a lot of it could be hearsay, but there's some of it that could get in as an inconsistent statement. That's possible. Also, there could be some present sense impression. There could be some stuff she saw. The condition of Whitney when Whitney was at her house. A lot of that stuff could come in. Mistrial, if Gallery sings Hoist the Colors, yes. Yes. If any of the Pirates music comes in, I think we're in trouble. Did you skip my last one? Super chat, hey, Mr. Mustache. I don't think I did Johnny Arbor, but I'll go back and check in the system just to make sure I got that at the end here. Mauser says, will the testimony of Amber Heard witnesses matter if they were high on shrooms? Seems like hallucinations. Should make their version less credible. New here, love the channel. Hey, Mauser, thank you. Welcome to the channel. Seriously, welcome to the channel. Tiffany says, can you explain how witness impeachment works? Like once are they shown to have lied, what happens? Or is it up to the jury to realize the impeachment? Yeah, impeachment isn't some magical thing where they're thrown off the stand and they're put in jail. No. Impeachment just means showing somebody is a liar.
Yeah.
Proving they're a liar. And so an impeachment process is the process when you start up, when somebody makes a statement and you know it's a lie. Let's say they've given testimony to the contrary. You go, okay, here's a document. Read this document. Is this you? Did you sign this document? Okay, yes. On this day, what's the date of the document? Last week. Okay. What does it say? Read the document. It says, I pushed Whitney down the stairs. Is that what it says in the document there? Yeah. And today you're saying you didn't push Whitney? Yeah. Okay, no further questions. You just move on, right? So you show that they're lying and they're inconsistent. You show they have bad character, that they're not reliable witness. That's impeachment. It's not removing their testimony. It's not striking testimony. It's up to the jury to decide. But any reasonable juror, any reasonable person is not going to believe somebody like that. I grew up one town over from the town Amber Heard did. None of us ever dated chicks from her town because they're all nuts. Oh, man. This is a new definition of crazy town, guys. Definitely do not go to crazy town. Like, for sure. Do not do it, guys.
Me to crazy town.
I actually say a lot of times girls are on horses, right? And she was definitely a horse girl. So that's definitely usually a red flag.
I'll tell you, the biggest mistake I ever made in my life was dating a girl that wore gray corduroy pants because she was a horse girl.
There's some mistakes you make once and never again. Do you think they will call Whitney's Whitney's friend that she lived with as a surprise witness since Cross brought up how she confided in her? It's possible. I mean, they can bring Jennifer Howell is very possible to
seriously. I mean, you really can't have surprise witnesses. You have to give
them
notice.
They have to be on the list. Now, Jennifer Howell is on the list. So that's why I think Jennifer Howell can come in. Is it possible that hearsay will become a new term in Virginia? Regardless, producers have offered the judge a role in Honey, I Shrunk Elaine's career. She really does look like Rick Moranis. Like, for sure. I will say that. It's almost comical how she looks like Rick Moranis. Stephanie says, if she's telling the truth, I'm the Queen of England. Well,
Your Highness.
Yeah. Get a couple of beers on me. You don't have to tell us twice. You do not tell us twice.
Beer doesn't have nearly high enough.
It might be beer. It might be soju. I got like half the bottle peeled off here, but
I've already got whiskey in my martini glass, if you hadn't noticed.
There's a video that Amber Heard at one point reached over and started running the mic for Elaine yesterday. That is how much she's running the case. Man, I got to stick that one. I got to see that video. I got to check that one out.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
My Beavers unit says, pick your own happy ending. I twat advice.
I don't know what that means, but I love it.
Maybe tweeted, twatted.
I hope it means twatted because
he is legal vices after all, guys. Remember, he's legal vices. Zellner is a famous attorney. If she lawyers, Amber Heard is done. Yeah, if she gets in, that would be real bad or bad. Cheeky says, it seems Amber Heard can't force her witnesses to attend court in person and had to use depositions. That was the last resort, the best they got. So Amber Heard's testimony tanked it. 100%. I think that was not very convincing testimony at all because it wasn't in person. I think the video testimony was a real big loser in terms of reliability.
Well, that's the point. That's the problem with the recorded deposition testimony. You can't cross-examine them based on what's been revealed at trial up to that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a problem. Joel says there's a video of Elaine reaction to Amber Heard mentioning Kate Moss on the stand. Elaine's face is saying, "Are you freaking kidding me?" It's hilarious. Oh, that's good. That's good. I like that. I like that.
If you say feckin', you've got to be from Ireland.
Well, I know. Well, there's a video of Ben Chew, and when Ben Chew hears Kate Moss, Ben Chew turns around. He's got his big smile, and he's like, because he knows it opened the door to bring in the stuff.
Well, he did
Amber
like
Heard.
the fist pump, didn't he?
Yeah, because it opened the door, and Amber was an idiot for bringing that up. Amber thought she was smart, but she's an idiot. One of the expert progs and set an automatic spam response. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Is Amber Heard setting up for insanity plea? This is not a criminal case. Let me be clear here, guys. Not a criminal case.
Yeah.
Would be funny, but it's not a criminal case. Let's see. Chi-Town Texan says she paid her friends off with JD money, and if they turn on her, she has dirt on them. I believe they all took millions together, blackmail. Very true. I would not be surprised if she's got blackmail. She's got dirt on all of these people.
I can't imagine there's a single clean person in Hollywood.
Yeah, but in this case, in this particular case, I think she does have dirt on them specifically. I expected the judge to start quoting Cheers. This judge, did you see the face of the judge? The judge was just like shocked at the bullshit that was coming from Amber Heard's team. Her eyes were popping out of her head. My beaver says, I tweeted all the same. A
little different, but I'll take twatted over tweeted still because I'm me.
There's batshit crazy. Amber's bedsheet crazy. In more than one way.
No, bedsheet crazy is great, but batshit crazy is that's off the menu.
But I think the bedsheet crazy for Amber Turd is not the type you want, Jeff.
You would still smash her, so don't say you wouldn't. Just to say you did it.
Not now. But anyways, hey, I'm Canadian. The beaver is a brave and noble animal. Yes, we stand with the beaver, guys. We stand with
Stephanie
the
the Roke. You have my personal favorite quote of the night so far.
If Amber was the reason for the success of Aquaman, then Oscar for the use of best green screen goes to Legal Vice.
I got no green screen here. This is me, man.
Oh, man, that'd be great. Behavior panel, new video on Amber. She's scared. Yeah, every behavior panelist, every person who knows behavior, who's looked at behavior and has looked at Amber says that her behavior is absolutely unreliable. Is 100% unreliable. It's not something you can look at or kind of rely upon. It's absolutely problematic, increasingly problematic. All right, I want to make sure that I got everything here from everybody. Johnny Arbor, I'm going to look back and see if I can catch yours. Legal Vices, what are you going to look for next week? What are some things you're going to look out for next week?
Wow. Number one, how soon they finish Amber Heard finishes her case in chief. Because he said that they're down to 8 hours. They don't have a lot of time to fuck around with for the rebuttal witnesses, for the close. Okay, the closing statements aren't part of it, but they don't have a lot of time left for this last week. I'm looking for them to try some desperation shit that doesn't lay out anything that's particularly meaningful. But for Johnny's side, I'm looking for them to come in hard, fast, and strong, like some Marine Corps drill instructors. I'm gonna hit you 3 ways, hard, fast, and continuously. I'm gonna wait for them to come in with like some hard, fast, and continuous, just brutalize it, because they have 10 extra hours to dick around with.
Yeah, that's a lot of time. It's a lot of time.
Okay, let me get some brutal shit and get away with it because they will have no time to rebut it.
Let me get something I missed here. Viva Fry. I miss Viva. So Viva said, I'm reading it from behind the studio here, guys, because it passed up on the side. These are images of Amber's those images of Amber's face. She said she took 2 separate pictures because the lighting was better and showed more redness in one. They are the exact same picture, just manipulated, which makes her testimony a lie. Viva, that is 100% true. By the way, what's up, Viva? Good to see you in the chat. Yeah, 100% a lie, 100% bullshit, Viva.
And that's where I think this trial has the advantage over other trials, because we're talking about the jurors being very, very young. So they're going to be savvy to all of the photoshopping, the filters and shit. They're going to be on point on this.
Yeah. Let me go back here. So I had Ash said, can you ask Tug where we can find an hour-long video of the demon cackle tape, or get the link and post in the description? I'll do the former. I'll get the link and post it in the description. Laura Putnick says, which documents double B1? Trying to find it. I'll get that one as well. Try to post that in restriction. CJOJ says, never mind. Very wrong. Sorry. Let's see if we got anyone else here. Day Reaver says, great show, Legal Mindset. Tug that wicker basket. It was cured in Amica cream, protects from breaks and bruises. Envy My Soul said, show London Fields to the jury of her death. Legal Vices. Daniel Chapman said, Legal Vices. Is the former Mormon missionary a position you pioneered?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to like invent something called the former missionary position.
Yeah. I am a veggie says, ILSM Tug. There should be a Legal Mindset Arnica cream drinking night. Oh, guys, come on. It's rough.
Ew.
It's very rough, guys.
Yeah.
I think, and then let me just catch the ones at the end here, guys, as we wrap this, because I got to wrap this. If I missed any, guys, I will catch them in my next morning stream because I have a more detailed list I can search. So Bass Chick, I'll catch you if I missed you. Snexy Girl, lots of gamers live streams went online as well today. There was a heap of complaints. Okay, so they went down. It went down, not owned, down, right? So yes, a lot of streams went down today. It was not just LawTube, but it was really suspect, and it was really fortunate for the Herd team. So who knows? If Herd was really good in bed, it all makes sense. Crazy often is. Their entire case is a warning message to anyone with a little skrill. Koyo, I have a video called "The Danger of Amber Heard's Crazy Pussy." Go watch that video. It's a great video. And honestly, it talks about not just Amber Heard, but girls like that lure you in there. And this can, I guess this could happen with guys technically, the danger of the golden D. But I mean, more often, it's guys getting suckered in by that crazy good pussy, and they lose all sense in their head.
That was an exceptionally on point video.
Yeah. Stephanie says, maybe when it's all over, you can speak the legality to Justin Trudeau involving the Emergency Act. You guys rule. I'll be back. Yeah. Honestly, I've covered that, and I want to go on with Viva. Shout out to Viva, who just donated as well, to talk about Canada, because the craziness going on in Canada is insane. And he's been on the street, just like we were on the street. People are out there on LawTube covering this. Runkle and Ron are out there, and Rob are out there. Lawn Lumber are out there. DY guy are out there in the courtroom. He's been on the streets too, so I want to talk to him about that. Teratopedia says, I wish it was Halloween because I predict amber-colored turds will be the go-to costume. Oh, no. It's always what's closest to Halloween, but here's the thing. We can make it trend again. Come Halloween, we can make it trend again. Jackie for $1, thank you so much. Appreciate that. And I think, does that do? Okay, here you go. Here's where the documents are. IFOD, the truth. Yes, I've got that link. I will post that in the description, but thank you. This is where they are. ifod.net/the-truth. E. Barlow is Uncle Leo from Seinfeld. Legal Mindset. Legal Vices. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Legal Mindset. This is Legal Vice. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Seriously, it's been great. This has been a wild ride. If you haven't, please make sure you go over, subscribe to Legal Vices. Please, channel's in the description. Tug is also in the description. Thanks so much to him for doing this. Guys, we're going to be back in the morning. I'm going to be doing this morning show again. So there will always be a morning show on my channel. It will be here. I love this time. It's great for me. If you like this, make sure you subscribe. Please, it helps on the channel. Thank you so much. Barbie says, admire all the tubers. Watch you on Legal Bites. Watch Tug. The love you speak to the truth. Nothing held back. Love you. Yes. Thank you, Barbie. All we're trying to do is speak the truth. 100%. 100%. Hook up with an ear campaign. They've been there since day one. Will do. Ruth says, this happens to YouTubers that have spoken about the elections. All their accounts are down now, Rumble and locals. The elections are something you can't talk about, Ruth. We can't talk about that. Halloween, I'm going to be dressed as a sexy cokehead. Oh, so Amber Heard. Right? Maybe not so sexy anymore, though. Former Amber Heard, right? Former Amber Heard. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Take care. Stay based. Get some sleep. And we will see you all next week.